Oh wow, he was frozen for a moment. My favorite part.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
like
No, you're
froze like
frozen.
this or something. Like it was funny.
He's in the middle of his DJ set. Leave him alone.
Oh
Okay.
no.
I wasn't actually frozen. I was just very still. But what did happen is I had my mic muted, so that's now
Are
fixed.
you okay? Do we need to teach
No.
you how to stream? Aren't you pro-Methian, not noob-Methian?
Listen, I rode a bike today, and I feel like it's reset my entire personality. Now I just want
To
to
when you first learned how to ride a bike.
drink protein shakes and fall off and skin my knee. It's stuff, I guess.
What?
Yeah. Hey, hi. Welcome.
He's going through it, is what he's saying.
I would not recommend
How's your
drinking a protein
midlife
shake
crisis
while riding
going?
a bike.
It's going. It's not the only thing that's going. I'm going to leave before the end of this session. Stop bullying me on the internet.
You literally put us in a position to bully you on the internet.
Guys, if he leaves, we win. Just
That's
remember
true.
that.
That's how
you
D&D
win
works.
D&D. Yeah, that's how you win D&D. You get the DM to leave.
To pack up their screen and go home. Go
Yeah.
sit in there.
We
Go
all
sit in
sit
there.
here thinking
cup
that
chair
the
on the
internet can
curb.
still see us.
Welcome to the Sword of the Skulls, a little 5th edition D&D game where apparently all of my, or most of my players are that guy, and we're going to stream it for everyone to see. Welcome back if you've watched this bullshit before. Hey, if you've watched this bullshit before, there's some stuff you're probably aware of, but we're going to get to that shortly. What we're going to do first is we're going to get all of my genuinely wonderful and delightful players, bar one, who's not actually with us tonight, to introduce themselves and give us a little...
I actually thought you were gonna fucking throw shade at me then and be
Yeah.
like, they're all wonderful aside from one. I was like ready for that, and I was about to be like, okay, Promethean's
make
like
no
bullshit
mistake,
again.
I will be throwing shade at you, but not for that.
Okay.
No, we're going to get everyone to go around, and because it's our first session back in 2025, and we literally last played like 7 billion years ago, I'm going to get everyone to, one, tell us who you are, but then also give us a little reminder of your character. Who are they? What they do? What they look like? All that jazz. You know how that works. We're going to start with Ham the DM, please.
He changed his name again.
Noob Methian. Yeah, fair enough.
It's more appropriate than the previous one. Hi,
There's 2 zeros in it.
there's 2 zeros in it. I'm twice the noob. My name's Ham, or Ham the DM. I DM stuff on the internet. Also play stuff on the internet. You can find me on the Meeples and Dragons channel doing Resident Shadows over here, or you can find me here playing Celis O'Kryn, tall, somewhat awkward hobgoblin who uses the talent class from the Matt Coville School of Homebrew stuff, which basically means that half the time I'm just trying to melt my own brain. That's it.
That's it.
Anything else you want? Tough.
Wow. Okay, amazing. Hey,
Just love and affection.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need it. I really do.
Oh, buddy.
Hey, let's go to absolutely professional Liverpooler and wearer of ball gowns, Saz.
Hi, I don't have a ball gown on today, but I'm Saz or Saz the Meeple. You can find me over on Threads and Blue Sky. You can also find me over on the internet. That is Meeples and Dragons, where I am the resident Dice Goblin and Twitch producer. And when I'm not over there doing stuff or over here doing stuff, you can also find me every Tuesday morning on Split Party TV Twitch channel doing a Barovia campaign where we're mingling 2014 and 2024 rules, and it's a hell of a time, and we are not dead yet. Yay.
Is that confusing?
Not for fucking lack of trying.
Soul? The mingling of rules? I don't know how it
It's working pretty well, actually. It's not too bad at all. Either way, Matt's adjusted accordingly, let's say, because we have nearly died. Anyway, I played
in a Barovia campaign. Surely
I know,
not.
right?
Doesn't sound right.
It's a good time. So I play Tiny over here. She is the cutest, literally tiniest freaking fairy warlock you've ever seen in your life. And when she's not cute and tiny, she's goth and scary. That's Tiny.
Excellent. Hey, you know who else is a player in this cool campaign and whose nameplate is wildly unscented, which I'll fix very shortly. It's Ash. Ash,
Fucking hell.
go for your
Hey.
life.
That's me. Hey, I'm Ash. I make stuff. You can find me at Ash Makes Stuff on all the social medias. You can find me here doing this once a month. You can occasionally find me here doing DMing as well in Tale of Two Queens, our gay pirate adventure. You can also find me over on Split the Party every Tuesday morning at like, what time do we start? 9:30, 10 o'clock?
Something like that.
I just show up playing another but better cleric in that campaign. I also apparently make flashback cameos on Hexes and Vexes in Echoes of Demata, Tale of Divinity.
Close enough.
Something.
Echoes of Divinity, but
Yeah.
sure. Wow, the disrespect.
I was supposed to show up,
and what
not
was
to know
mine?
things.
Adventures in Demata.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's
Wow.
cool. I'm so used to being truly so disrespected by everyone that has ever
That's
met
true.
me. So, you know.
Just need to remind everyone. I just need to
Wow.
remind everyone that I'm queer, I have ADHD, and I cannot fucking read. So this is bullying.
You also can't sit
Are
properly.
you throwing me under the bus? Because what the fuck is my excuse?
Do we all need sunglasses to match Ash's energy?
I'm
Correct.
also wearing sunglasses because my lights are very bright and I'll get an instant migraine if I take these things off. So
Hey,
also
I'm
just-
immediately looking for sunglasses.
anyway, in
I don't
this
have any.
campaign, I play a cleric who's really fucking bad at it. Her name's Lilith. She's a tiefling. She's very tall, and she's just the worst. So
Wow, amazing. That's
she's
a
also purple.
super accurate
This-
description of Lilith.
I know.
My astigmatism can't
She
commit to
she
that.
also has a pair of sunglasses because she's allergic to the sun.
She does. Hey, speaking of cuties, Eleanor Covers. Hi, welcome, g'day, hello. Also speaking of cuties,
You.
Emily, do the thing, please.
Wait, hold on. Was that a compliment?
You heard.
Emily just spontaneously combusts because
That-
no one.
you know
saw
what to
the
do.
thing was.
Compliment Emily. Do it.
No, please don't. I will run away.
No,
Hey.
Can't read either.
Oh no. Hey, speaking of that, wow. I've lost all train of thought. I need 3 minutes.
You can have two.
Wow. Hey, my name's Emily. I don't like to be prey, but I do like to be exposed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 Prometheans.
How much did you donate to his campaign?
I didn't. He left them around my
He
house.
truly hid them everywhere in her house.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have one that I did donate for. I have a second that is going to fuckboy George. And I have 6 others. And chat, I challenge you this. The next 6 people to subscribe that aren't players in this game will get these personalized by definitely Promethean and posted.
Yeah, definitely not
Definitely.
pre-signed and put onto Redbubble that you can
Fucking-
find on Redbubble, by the way.
Also, definitely not signed by me, because I just need you all to know that this is the exact shade of lipstick that Promethean wears.
It's true. Can
And
confirm.
definitely a perfectly centered image, definitely not pulling drastically to one side. Definitely works if you put it in a photo frame.
Yeah. Hey, that being said, my name is Emily. I'm the producer, GM, and Chief Executive Thirst Master over on the Hexes and Vexes channel. The title's back. I'm the CEO now. And
Whoa.
you know, when I'm not there, you can find me here. And you can also find me over on Meeples and Dragons, playing a much nicer character than this one. You can also find me throughout the episodes of Castleton that are airing at the moment over on Winter's Tales. You know,
Finale
hanging
coming
out.
up next week.
Yeah.
And
Finale is coming. And you know, it's gonna be a good one.
two-parter.
trying
It's
to-
going to be a two-parter.
L&L covers. Tell me, tell me what you would like. I'm gonna DM you, and we'll figure out what to write on your card. Thanks for the subscription.
Oh no.
Excellent. There's something else I wanted and needed to say. Oh,
Clem
Malia. Hey,
approves. Oh,
hey,
no.
Clem approves. Gets one. Hey, I'm gonna
Malia,
DM
hey.
you too.
You are
can
in
say-
hey.
describing Malia.
You're just writing
Hey,
on all of them. Notice
I
me,
play
parable
Malia.
Papa.
I play Malia Redwood. I have a terrible accent and a terrible attitude. That's it.
Also accurate.
She
Speaking of,
bites people.
true. Speaking of terrible attitudes, FVCDM.
Oh, looking for a place to put this cursed mace and producing eggs with great taste. I'm Vermilion Barather. That's right, I'm doing rhymes now.
Oh, we gotta
Um,
add poet to his business card.
That's all I have.
Oh, fucking
Who are
hell.
you? You fuck.
Says that on my nameplate. That's all.
It does. You will find NBCDM at that NBCDM on many socials, just for the record. Also, not with us this evening is Jeannie.
Hi.
Thank you. That's perfect. Jeannie typically would be playing Kaori, a wild magic sorcerer. She's not able to make it this evening. So I guess we'll find out what happens there. Currently, Kaori is AWOL after having set fire to a blacksmith in a very tiny
And having her monkey rob the joint.
Gun monkey.
The monkey canonically ran out with a bag of something
The monkey does not have a gun.
that we know of.
Definitely has a gun.
The monkey
By
has
now,
a gun.
monkey
by now he
has a
surely
gun.
has a gun.
Monkey does not have a gun. Hey, hi, I'm Promethean. There's 0 in it, but I'll tell you right now, no, I'm not going to do that again. It's
Oh
done.
wow,
I
you're
was
gonna
go- I was
try and
gonna
do it
I was
again.
going to try and do it, and then the words mixed up in my head, so I'm bailing, which is so poor form, but here we are. I failed to beat Imura in the final boss battle of Space Marine 2 on my channel for the rest of
To
my
no one's
fucking
surprise.
existence. And when I'm not doing that, I roll dice with a bunch of really cool people. Many of them are here before you now. You'll see me doing that here. You'll see me doing that on Meeples and Dragons in Ham's campaign. You'll see me doing that with Hexes and Vexes in Emily's campaign. You'll also see me doing that in, pay attention to Winter's Tale. Shit's going down.
We're all on each other.
Aurelius and Hex here have had a real nice time so far.
Hey, we're just on a we're on a fantasy land right now.
staycation.
We don't know what's
We
happening.
truly are, but I also need you to be truly so aware of how dangerous that world is currently. And if you want to head over to Winter's Tales Ko-Fi and
Fantasyland?
donate with shit to keep us safe and alive, then I would very much appreciate it. Hexy
gods
is
are coming.
good.
Specifically me, I could give and take Aurelius if no, I'm joking. I'm sorry.
But also,
I'm
isn't
joking.
it still active that if Hexia dies, Aurelius dies in her place and Hexia comes back to life? Isn't that still in play?
That's definitely
Hey.
one interpretation of the deal with that Aurelius did with the god. Yes.
If anyone ever feels guilty about not donating, let me make you feel more guilty. If I die, then I have this worthless Castleton tattoo that I paid truly so much money. No.
And also, your son
That was-
will become an orphan.
You will not hold us accountable for your questionable decisions.
Yeah, fair.
Meanwhile, let's talk about this campaign specifically. What happened the last time that we played?
Before we do that,
Sure.
guys, if you type !merch in the chat, you can get yourself some sick Lorites merch. They don't look like this. I cut the collar off of it because it was too tight. But hey, you can get yourself something with our cool little Corvid logo and other stuff, including the TFA or There's Fuckery Afoot.
There's
I
fucking
don't know.
You can get a grab bag of the collars that Ash has cut off shirts.
Yeah, it's just over there in the bin. So yeah, I
we'll
can
make
do
that
that.
a special giveaway prize at some point.
Yeah, sure. You can get a lock of each of our hair and also it's tied together with the collar.
Incredible. Hey, the other thing that you can do now is you can check our little wiki for,
Oh, yeah.
I guess, content warnings, which will give you, at the moment, the only stuff that's up there is for this campaign, but we'll have stuff up there as well for A Tale of Two Queens, the campaign that Ash runs, which I'm very much looking forward to returning.
Yeah.
Because
It's probably going to be coming back in May.
Gay Pirates are the
After
best.
Easter and shit.
It's going to be May. Amazing.
It's going to be May.
Excellent. And
Because it's so funny because I
It's
made a
gonna
joke
be
about
May.
it's
I
gonna
made a
be
joke about the
May.
campaign not coming back until Pride Month, and then it's like,
Oh,
it actually
that's
might
the
not
way
be
it's
coming
looking.
back until
Hey, that's fine because it's truly such high quality that
it's
I'm
not.
happy to wait.
I
that
am-
long.
Freeballing everything that I do.
Same.
Perfect.
Unrelated.
There will also be information on that page as to the content of our upcoming horror shit going down, run by everyone's favorite chat goblin, Tolera79. It's going to run some Call of Cthulhu shit on the channel. It's going to be super
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
amazing and spooky and scary, and we love that. I think the only other significant thing of note is, hey, look, if you want to know who I've stolen all of the stuff from, check out the acknowledgements page on the wiki. That will tell you. But for now, let's get into a recap real quick. I think we'll leave the musical intro until post-recap.
Mhm.
Previously on the Sword of the Skulls. Following a fight with werewolves on the muddy streets of Erding and Salazlo's surprise reunion with the Yuan T. Laris, the party took a couple of days to recover. Vermilion took that opportunity to venture into the woods and, guided by a pair of wolves and mysterious druid Keylor, met an ancient being bound to the roots of a tree who silently drew his attention to the mace in his possession stolen from the fallen lycanthrope Riven. Keylor explained that it is an ancient, cruel, and dangerous weapon that will be almost impossible to destroy, and recommended that Vermilion find somewhere to... Wait a minute, this is too big! Vermilion finds somewhere to find...
Hey, that's what she said.
Thanks, to hide it where it can never again be found, before revealing that an antidote for lycanthropy may be found in Riven's lair. However, needing a divine blessing applied to it in order to be effective. Malia checked in on Salazlo, and the two shared a moment of understanding about keeping the secrets of their past in the past. Tinywing recorded the party's adventures in her book and received a response from Galkafir, encouraging the little fairy to keep him informed. Lilith cast sending to Valda, thank you, a family member from her past, and received a reply from a young girl who did not seem to recognize who Lilith was. Lilith dealt with this poorly, and after a mild meltdown the next day, concentrated her efforts on combining protective and restorative spells on herself in the hope of protecting herself from the curse of lycanthropy. Vermilion, on his return from his forest adventures, was bullied by Malia into calling a group meeting to discuss the nocturnal trip into the forest, and defensively claimed that he didn't do so alone. An impatient Lilith cast Zone of Truth on the elf, and Vermilion revealed from his backpack Astatus. Astatus?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, not a problem at all. A desert fox animal companion who has been there the whole time.
Yeah.
Informed by a Trabbit, the incredibly anxious gnome, that Riven's corpse is in the village cemetery, Lilith used Speak with the Dead to interrogate the charred corpse, hoping to locate the lycanthrope's lair. The corpse of Riven told the party that Kyle knew the way to the lair, and in keeping with her reign of terror against the villagers imprisoned drunk, Tinywing woke Kyle using thaumaturgy. In her disguise as a particularly tall and leggy version of Trabbit, Lilith promised the half-elf his freedom in exchange for guiding the party to the lair. He does so, leading them to a cave outside the village. With super dark vision granted by Lilith, the party spied a sleeping creature in the depths of the cave with a twitching, spiked tail. Lilith and Vermilion recognized the creature as a manticore, and in a truly rare moment of collective wisdom, the party decided to approach the situation carefully. Malia making use of her shadow-touched ability to turn invisible, Vermilion casting Pass Without Trace on the assassin, and Lilith offering the boon of guidance, resulting in a 40-fucking-1 roll on a stealth check, ensuring a flawlessly sneaky retrieval of a canteen lying beyond the sleeping monster. Then, in more typical fashion, at Malia's safe return to the cave mouth, Lilith immediately cast Guiding Bolt on the sleeping creature, and the rest of the party begrudgingly made absolute mincemeat out of it, only for a second manticore to land at the mouth of the cave, pancaking Kyle's skull in the process. After dealing with the second manticore, Tinywing put Kyle's body to rest using mold earth, and before leaving, Vermilion used plant growth to bring forth snowdrops and blue hyacinths, representing redemption and forgiveness. Doubling back only briefly to retrieve their cart from Erding, the party moved out of the small village, and as twilight falls, Lilith prayed over the canteen of antidote, taking something from her holy symbol and adding it to the foul-smelling elixir as part of a ritual casting of bless. She and Vermilion drink and await the next full moon to determine their fate. And having set up camp for the evening, it's a relatively quiet night. And come the next morning, those of you who are awakening, or those who don't need to awaken but are nonetheless there, see Kaori just kind of sitting on a rock on her own. She's looking a little, not sad necessarily, but just a bit down. And as you each, one by one, arise from your rest, she kind of waves. Hi.
Wow! Hey, Kaori! You were gone a while. Wow, where did Zephyr get that gun?
You don't see Zephyr with her.
Zephyr's got a gun and
God
he's going
damn
on a
it.
fucking raid of terror across the East
That's
Coast
right.
of Sunda.
Tune in to see Gun Monkey, the sort of the Skull spin-off.
You don't, in fact, see Zephyr with her. Fucking hell.
I'd like to thank Clem Approves and LNL covers for their requested messaging on both of these cards.
Amazing.
Definitely not going to ruin Promethean's reputation.
What fucking reputation?
But
We have
allegedly you're a pro.
Commitment, as in commitment, for Clem Approves.
Outstanding.
And then we have I love you too, Uwu.
Good one. Emily, this is a serious D&D game. If you could just keep it focused for a second, that'd be great.
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
I had to get it over and done with. It was too exciting. Anyway,
Good?
back to D&D.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
I'm good.
Indeed. Kaori is...
Right, we'll roll
there.
that back and we'll try that again without
Well,
the gun.
yeah, not like we're
without,
live.
without the gun monkey.
Yeah.
And cut.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Kaori. You've been gone a while. Would you like some eggs for breakfast?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. I'll be back in a sec. Milligan goes and wild shapes into a chicken and pops out a couple eggs.
Excellent.
Do you do that on the end of my bed while I'm
Yeah.
still sleeping?
Yeah. I don't have to make that sound every time. I just think it's funny.
Do you say that in chicken?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Which reminds me, Promethean, isn't there a poll you're supposed to be putting up in chat?
Yeah, but I'll do that when it comes up in conversation.
Okay, so I awaken to a chicken laying eggs and squawking on the end of my bed.
Correct. Very likely perched at the end of your bed, just intensely staring at
just
you.
making perfect eye
While
contact.
you're dropping the eggs?
Yeah, correct. It's just like perfect eye contact, except it's a chicken. So because its eyes are side on, I have to do this every so often and just side eye you, and then like that, and then it'll just be like, just
I immediately
eggs coming
pull
out.
whatever covers I have over my head and hope that I suffocate. Oh, shit. Hey, Clem, that's real nice of you, buddy.
Thanks.
Wow,
I'm Clem.
Chat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
so
can tell me
Why was
literally
it such
anything.
an anticlimactic celebration? We were all like so bored by that. Hey, Clem, that's real nice of you, buddy.
Absolutely true.
We're not
Uh,
getting past this breakfast scene. Fear.
I feel like welcome to 2025. It's fucking hectic.
We've all forgotten how to
breakfast.
play our characters. That's what's happening right now.
Okay,
Breakfast
so,
only, 2025.
Malia, there is a chicken staring you dead in the eye, laying eggs at the end of your bed.
Yeah, I'm absolutely rolling over and attempting to wait until they leave.
Okay, great. How many eggs is this chicken producing before doing something? with them?
Look, given that we're not bound by the general physical capabilities of a chicken, I would say 2 eggs per party member, except for Tiny Wing, who can have 1 because, like,
You
I
just
feel like
got to
it's a
turn
bit-
into like a quail or something.
yeah,
Tiny
just
Wing.
Tiny Wing gets a quail egg.
Wait, is this a second use of wild shape into a quail?
No, the chicken just shits out a quail
specifically?
egg.
No, the chicken lays a quail egg.
Incorrect. That's not how chickens work.
That's
You don't know
absolutely.
that?
Hey, what did I lead with? I led with since we're not bound by the general limitations of how chickens work.
You will
This is
respect
how
my
my-
dominance of this
He's got you
world,
there.
goddammit.
Chat, I'm very sorry, but also I'm
So,
not.
look, what
Anyway,
I'm
Tiny
hearing is
Wing-
many eggs.
yeah.
There's
Continue.
first time chatters here, Ash.
Definitely.
They're gonna
I
think this
can't read the
stated
chat
as to
because I
which
don't
we're
have
being
my computer.
delivered.
We are, in fact, deluded. This is like an equivocal amount of chaos as normal. Like,
Yeah.
this is. He literally Edward Cullens at the end of your bed every fucking day.
Would you say he Eggwood Cullens?
God. Kaori collects the eggs, and using Firebolt will start a fire.
Are you using what?
A firebolt
I thought you said fireball. I
will
was like,
start
that's
a fire
hell of a wake up.
and start cooking up these eggs, and just give Chicken Vermilion just a little scritch on the back of the neck.
Turn back into Vermilion.
It's still scritching the back
Yeah.
of Vermilion's neck.
It's just Vermilion in a crouch.
And absolutely very well pointed out, there are indeed first-time chatters and viewers, in fact, looking. So can we get a quick
And we're
physical
sorry for that.
Yeah, we truly are. Can we get a quick physical description of Vermilion, MVC, if you don't mind?
Wood Elf Green Mohawk.
Cool. So chicken...
5'11", but it's 5 foot of mohawk.
The chicken also had a green mohawk.
Yeah, correct.
okay, so
that's the thing that carries through in Wild Shape.
Kaori is now quietly cooking breakfast. The remainder of you awake. Salazlo.
Hello.
Hi. Would you like to explain Salazlo's morning
Existence.
on waking, please? And also physical form.
Yeah, look, Salazlo is a tall, lanky hobgoblin. Dark hair, shaved at the side, sort of long, plaited down the back. He generally tends to wear, he has a largish coat, which he wears, which is a little bit sort of worn, but rather colourful. In the morning, his routine would be to 100% avoid the eggs at all cost. Sal's 100% not on board with consuming Vermilla eggs. So he'll decline any offerings and just resort to the rations that he's got. And we'll check in on Tiny Wing to make sure, just see how she is this morning. She had a good sleep.
To make sure a stiff breeze didn't blow her away during the night.
Yeah, make sure no one didn't accidentally step on her on the way to the toilet or anything like that.
Excellent. Saz, Tiny Wing awakes to Salazlo checking in. Would you like to describe Tiny Wing, please? And what happens when Sal rolls up on you?
Tiny's wide awake when you get to Tiny, and she's just been sitting there, just chilling.
I'd suggest avoiding the eggs. I'm really not sure how.
Why? They're free range and organic.
Yeah, they're also out of you,
And?
that just doesn't like. I mean, I've eaten some strange stuff in my time, but eggs from a traveling companion's something.
They're chicken eggs. They came out of a chicken.
Yeah, look,
I was the chicken.
You were, and that's where my point of concern mainly lies, is that you were the chicken. Look, Tiny, up to you. You go for it. with
I'm
eggs
not
if you
hungry.
want.
I don't. No, I'm good, thank you. Thank you,
Excellent.
Vermilion, but I don't need them.
Lovely thought, Vermilion, but yeah, I'm just no. Thank you.
Lilith is awoken by this raucous conversation between
Lil-
Sal, Tiny Wing, and Vermilion about the
Actually,
eggs.
Lilith would have been awake already.
Well, sorry, Lilith is distracted from whatever the fuck it is she's doing.
But do you want to know what the fuck it is she's doing? So
Yes.
Lilith woke up with the dawn, as she always does, because it is a form of twilight, and she is a twilight cleric. Lilith has been, over the past however long it's taken for the party members to awaken, been ritually casting Identify on each and every item that she has in her bag of holding, so that she can understand exactly the properties that they have. And what they are.
Incredible. Okay, great.
Hey, Lilith, have you got some salt for these eggs?
Bags over there.
Thank you.
Excellent. Would you like to go through those items now, Ash?
I would love to.
Okay, let's roll through. What do you
Okay.
currently have in the bag of holding that you've been casting identify?
First of all, prison painting ring.
Right, prison painting ring is fairly, I guess, self-explanatorily. It is essentially the key to the portrait prison that currently
Yes.
remains at Dr. Velkior's house for disadvantaged children. That's not what the place is called. The orphanage.
Wayward children.
Thank you.
Um,
Dr. Velkior being the humanesque disguise of the dragon Galkafir, as you're all aware.
I can't find my spell list. It has disappeared because the D&D Beyond app is terrible. There it is. Specifically, per the spell, I believe it tells me... No, I've lost it because it's... There we go. If the object is a magical object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement, how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any ongoing spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn that spell's name.
Correct. So the description of the prison itself was given to you by Velkior, and you learn nothing more than that, essentially. So placing on the ring will transport the wearer immediately
Hell.
into the portrait prison, which from the ring you do not get a sense of, you don't get any more understanding of the prison itself.
Okay. What I'm
than you
aiming
already
for,
have.
if I'm allowed to, I want to know if there is a maximum distance at which it works.
Yes, there is. I'm going to say it will be 1,000 feet.
Okay,
From
that's
that
not
painting.
very far.
True.
Okay, cool. Ribbon's mace.
You pull the mace out of the bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
Roll a wisdom check for me, please.
Wisdom check or wisdom save?
Wisdom save.
Save. Okay. Where are my saves? 22.
Ooh, excellent.
14 plus 8.
You feel,
Yeah, I'm good.
you reach in, grasp the mace, and you feel an older magic than almost anything you've experienced before. And it is full of malice and hatred and cruel intent, and you feel these threads of ancient strands of the weave before it was thread into what it is now.
Oh, that's fucking
Attempt
old.
to curl up around your arm, reaching out for your throat, and you push it away.
I seem to do that a lot with magical artifacts.
Correct. I will send you the write-up on the mace. What you learn
Yes.
is not all of that information, so I'll need to trim it down.
That's fine. What's it called?
Great question. It is the...
That is a dumb name for a weapon.
It is the Claw
Sebastian.
of Malar.
Claw of...
Malar. M-A-L-A-R.
Okay. Unidentified bronze medallion.
Mm-hmm.
That's super cursed.
Excellent. No, it is not, in fact, super cursed. You learn
Jesus,
it
that sounds
is-
fake as shit.
It is a tool of summoning.
Ooh. Oh. What?
Without
What
being
does it
able to,
summon?
without being able to read. So what you learn with the use of identify is you need to read the text that is on the medallion to summon the entity that is bound to it.
Okay. Spending a break between, because I've only got one item left, I'm going to ritually cast Comprehend Languages.
Ooh.
What does it say? In the most- per the spell's description, In the most literal translation of the thing. So if it's got a
Excellent.
fucked up translation, let me know. I want it to be dumb and I want it to be wrong.
So with
Hey,
this...
before you get into that cool stuff, thanks for the raid, KitCon.
Hey, holy shit,
Yeah,
KitCon is
I
fire!
can't.
Sorry, I was getting super into
Wow.
just all of this fucking shit being revealed.
Wow.
Like, the day that we're back, it's like, Ash's, fuck you, guy. We're just gonna learn
I
all
had
these things.
2 months to plan for this, baby girl. This is your fault.
Yeah, look, that's entirely fair.
I made it
Um,
very clear that when I hit level 6, I was taking this spell.
Hey, Kit Carnage. Hey, hi, good to see you.
I can't love you. You're the best.
Lilith learns with identify. Oh, sorry. So with comprehend languages. So do you learn what language it is, or do you just get the translation?
Question. Let me check.
Yeah, have a read,
For the
read through
duration,
for
you
us.
understand the literal meaning of any language that you hear or see sign. Oh, hang on. Never mind. Wait. Oh, you also understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written. It takes about 1 minute to read 1 page of text. This spell doesn't decode symbols or secret messages. It does not tell me what the language is.
Right. It reads most literally to you with the use of identify. With this medallion, I summon thee, Method.
It's like,
Now, that's what it reads. It is up to you as to whether or not you say those words.
I am not saying those words out loud. Because Lilith isn't as dumb as the other cleric that I play. So, okay, one last item: unidentified quill.
The quill. Excellent. So I think this is the only one that, in general, we haven't actually yet looked at. So give me a sec. It's going to be about there. You learn a couple of things about this, which I'll tell you as soon as I find the session that this thing came into. What you learn is that it is called the Quill of Secrets.
Mm.
Maybe I should
Not to be
search
confused
for
with
it.
the Wand of Secrets that I also have.
Give me a sec. What you learn is that this quill, speaking the command word whisper, reveals a secret of the writer, animates itself to do so, and you'll also learn with the use of identify that that secret is conveyed to another plane as it is written.
Ooh. Interesting. So, to my understanding, whoever's holding, if someone else is holding the quill and doesn't say whisper, but I say whisper, will it still work?
It will.
Okay, so whoever's holding it is going to get one of their secrets told to another plane if someone in their vicinity says whisper while they are holding said quill.
Then the quill will write a secret of the author.
Mhm.
Depending on how much attention they're paying to what they're writing, they will be aware of that. But what is written will be conveyed to another plane.
So it's going to be visible on this plane as well, or just the other one?
Presumably it'll be writing on paper, because most
Okay.
quills require paper to write on.
Most quills,
Mhm.
yes. Okay, cool. Thanks, bro. Other than that, I'm going to cast Remove Curse on myself to start the day. I'm going to do that every day from now until the full moon because I can.
Excellent. A reminder
Hey,
to
Ashy,
please
track your
track
spell
your
slots.
fucking
Just-
spells.
We're back in a regular session now. Yes, I am tracking my spell slots. Thank you, Mum and Dad.
Hey, hi, everyone watching. Hey, if you're a D&D player, help you fucking DM out. Track your fucking spells.
Hey, everyone, if you're a D&D player and your DM implies that the day is going to be a nothing day, and you forget to track your
Never
spells,
trust them.
Don't-
Never trust them.
don't let them gaslight you into thinking it's your fault.
Hey, everyone, if you're a D&D player and your DM's doing a good job, the next time you see them in person, just
Kiss them
come
on
up
the
to
mouth.
them and, give them a little kiss. Consensual, just a little consensual kiss. Consensual. But give them a little kiss, just so you appreciate it.
Okay, and then
Hey, NVCDM.
Aw, that's,
Aw.
aw, that's real cute. Well, we know it's getting gift. Having spent a hell of a lot of time through the early morn identifying these assorted items, Lilith is then distracted by not necessarily an
Fucking
argument,
chicken debate.
but a debate on the value and suitability and edibility, perhaps, of Vermilion's
Bacon.
eggs. To which she has no response.
All I'm saying, Salazar, is that, like, how do you know?
Don't drag
that an egg you
Saz
haven't-
into this.
Shut up. That an egg you haven't eaten in the past wasn't laid by someone in wild shape. You don't, do you? You tracked the origin of all your eggs? No, you fucking don't. So just shut up and eat these ones. I worked really hard on these eggs.
Look, I appreciate the fact that you worked really hard on the eggs, and you've also made me think. No, I'm sorry. I know where. No, I reject the whole premise of your argument. There's not a whole bunch of druids running around pooping out eggs and making them be eaten by people. That's
I'm not saying there's a whole bunch, but there could be like 10,
There
and you
could
wouldn't
be.
know if you're just buying the eggs, if
Well,
it was the case or not.
Look,
If you think about it, it's probably an easier way to keep a bunch of druids in one place. Just keep them in chicken form. Chickens are very small.
But I don't understand why you'd want to keep a bunch of druids in a particular place in the first place. I mean,
Maybe they don't have a very big house.
Look, maybe we just need better labeling laws for products like eggs that say, may contain traces of druid.
Can I ask
I'm
where
just
Tiny
saying.
One would be at this point?
Oh, she's just watching
she
all
would-
of this
Okay,
unfold
I
in
feel
front
like-
of her because
I feel like I would eventually emerge and just like catch your eye and just that's it.
Meanwhile, around that time, Kaori finishes cooking aforementioned eggs and starts to offer them to the party.
Sal will ask, so Kaori, like you sort of just vanished after the whole blacksmith burning down episode. Is everything okay? Are you back now? Like, what's going on?
There was a fire.
There
Yeah, you
was.
did it.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a good idea to not be where the fire was.
Right.
Sorry if that made life difficult for you guys. Have any of you seen Zephyr?
Last I checked, he was on his way to a gunsmith. Or an arms dealer.
I haven't seen him since he went into the blacksmith. I couldn't find it. That's why it took so long. I was looking for Zephyr.
Right. It looked like
Didn't he come out with a big bag or something?
I'm not sure how he works. Like, if he's a real monkey or some sort of like magical monkey or something.
Or a chimp?
Like,
You know, like a different order monkey that's not technically a monkey.
What makes you think he's not a real monkey?
well, I mean, I'm conscious that like there are people out there who can use magic and stuff who can like summon like little beasts that help them out, and I just thought that maybe Zephyr might have been something like that for you. If he's not, I'm sorry for making the presumption, but was just more wondering than anything else.
He's just a monkey.
It's just a monkey.
And a
Oh,
friend.
With a gun.
oh,
Doesn't have fucking gun.
look, I'm sorry that we haven't seen him. I hope he's okay. I mean, he seemed to be fairly sort of resourceful for a monkey.
He is. Well, I'm sure he will find me again.
Has he ever gone missing like this before?
Yeah, once or twice. There's one time he was locked in prison. It was a good couple of months before he could get out, and he found me then, so I'm sure he'll be fine.
I'm sure.
How
he's
does a
fine.
monkey not get out of prison? It's just like, surely it's like I slipped through the bars sort of thing.
He should have had a better lawyer.
He wasn't the only monkey in the prison.
This is like
They
a
have
whole
monkey
monkey prison.
I-
Jinx.
It's not a prison for monkeys. That would be silly. But they definitely had more than one monkey in there.
I mean, it sounds like he's vanished before, and he'll come back again. I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah, I hope so.
What crimes does a monkey have to commit to get locked in prison?
It's not important. So what's the plan? Where are we? Are we?
Can I roll insight on that, please?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Guidance.
I want to understand whether it's like I'm deflecting, or whether it's just typical Kaori behavior.
Okay, sure.
Did you say guidance?
Yeah,
what?
of course I said guidance.
Okay, that's a D4, yeah?
Yeah.
Great. Where the fuck is my character sheet? 26.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I didn't
excellent.
realize how good my modifier was. I forgot.
There you go. It's pretty easy to read. It feels very typically Kaori, just kind of that shrugging off of, random details kind of thing. It doesn't seem like she's trying to hide anything of importance at all.
Right.
Which
Okay,
I would
cool.
never do while I was in control of someone else's character, for the record. But yeah.
You don't know that.
I let it go, and the cold did never bother me anyway.
Indeed. Are we gonna go find this hag, or what's the plan?
You shouldn't call Lilith that.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, first of all, half elf, tiefling. Rude.
I say literally nothing. I just say
Yeah.
so quiet the entire time.
Lilith, are you just saying things?
What?
Half elf tiefling. Are you just saying words?
Sorry, can you say that but not in an accent, Promethean, please?
That's Lilith. I'm not Lilith. That's Kaori asking.
Yeah, but I don't know what you said because you said
Oh.
it in a weird voice. Can you say it in a normal voice so I can understand
Are
you,
you
please?
just saying words?
No. I'm a half elf. Technically, a tiefling.
Oh, excellent. No, I wasn't talking about Lilith. Isn't there some hag that we need to find to read the scroll that we found at Valkyors?
Yep.
Is that still a thing?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Still a thing. Mud-Eye Maggie. I think that was the name. Right.
It was, in fact, the name. So,
Thank you, disembodied voice.
what you... That's my pleasure. What you learned the last time we discussed this is it's going to take about a week to get to the area where, based on your travels and conversations with Valkyr and others, you think you'd be able to find or start to look for Mud-Eyed Maggie. What's the travel plans? How are we going to go about this?
Well, how good's the cart going to be in the mud?
Great question. It'll be about probably 3 days before you hit the bog proper. And Salazlo, I'll get you to roll for me let's do a survival check from Sal.
Survival. Sure. I can roll a survival check. I've got numbers on a piece of paper. Like literally a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, old school.
Yeah, I know. Survival, you say. Excellent. I'll use my distinctly incredible modifier. Oh, hey, it's not bad. 16.
Okay.
Holding the map upside down.
Sal,
It's not even a map.
you are at least vaguely familiar with that area directly adjacent to the Fey-bog itself. You kind of travel the outskirts of the bog for a little while. And you'll be aware, so there's probably two main methods of approach into the area of the Fey-bog that you are far less familiar with, but at least have a general sense of kind of how you might get there. There's probably two separate ways that you can go. There's a full direct path that'll take you kind of through some back roads and skip through most populated areas. There's a much easier kind of road and path. It will take you over a little bridge town, but it will also take you through an area important to your history. So where you left the fair specifically. If you take the easier route, you will pass very close to that particular area.
So the other direction which you're saying is sort of is harder. Like how Or like how hard? Like, is it going to be an absolute nightmare trying to get this cut through, or
It'll be a trek. It'll be far less civilized, and you're more likely to run into any number of assorted critters, creatures, bandits, and the like.
right?
Less so, not entirely impossible, but at the very least less so if you take
Yeah.
the roaded route.
We'll go the roaded route. So Sal will go to the rest of the group and goes, "Hey, look, I'm fairly familiar with this part of the world. Like we've kind of got two options. There's like sort of like the back roads, which are maybe not that safe. But in saying that, we're less inclined to maybe like we're going to be off sort of the beaten track and stuff. So if people are concerned about bumping into people, or if any of you've got anything which you're concerned about, we're not going to run into kind of general folk that way, but we might run into things that want to eat us. But then we're also, it'll seem to be a fairly capable lot. Or we can go down the main road, which will be easier, but it'll be a lot more public. There's a lot more chance of running into, just your general people. And honestly, I'd prefer not to do that.
How likely are we to run into your ex-wife?
Right, look, I mean, I'm sure, yeah, look, fuck. I would prefer to go down the back roads personally, but I'm conscious that that's probably a more dangerous path for us, and like we're a group traveling together, so it's not really just my call.
Just need to check something really quick. I feel like it's not going to work the way I want it to. Nope. Like the fourth word in the spell description just says immobile.
Means it's not available on the 5G network.
No, I was like...
Which reminds me of the book I read this morning. But anyway.
I'm going to look
Getting
at Sel and say, if you're the one that knows best about this part of the world, I have no reason to question you. I'm happy with whatever you suggest.
Right. Well, I mean, I would prefer to go sort of the back roads, but would just have to be a bit more vigilant around things trying to jump us or eat us.
We'll sleep in shifts.
Exactly. Although I'm sort of concerned because Vermilion, I feel like some of us have already kind of eaten you, which is a very strange kind of mental gymnastics, which I don't want to think too hard about. Anyway, what's everybody else's opinion? Back roads, main roads?
Whichever you think is best, Sal.
Look, I think I would prefer the back roads.
Are the back roads closer to nature?
Sure.
I vote for the back roads.
Excellent. Lilith, we haven't heard your voice.
Yes, I don't really care. As long as we get where we're going. Does the journey matter?
Well, I mean, in some respects. I mean, one way is more dangerous than the other, but if you're not really worried about it, then that's fine.
It's like the old
Incredibly
saying
capable.
goes, it's the destination, not the journey that matters.
Back road
That's
that is
exactly how we say it downstairs.
downstairs.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Right, back roads it is then.
Excellent. And so through a series of very, very tight little trails to the point where at times there's no actual road and you're traveling essentially cross country, you head northward. Doing so, I think Vermilion, will you be taking the carts? We'll say there's probably about 4 days worth of travel to hit the Fabog proper. Over the course of that time, will Vermilion be pulling this cart along with the party Magnificent? Is there a particular creature that will be carting everyone along?
Chicken, but big.
A giant penguin. like a horse-sized penguin.
Oh no, we've lost him.
I'll allow it, but I will require you to make a survival check for me, please, at disadvantage. This definitely not being a penguin's favorite environment.
Okay. Fuck, I'm gonna need a dice, hey? 2, in fact.
Weirdly enough, that is how dice rolls work.
Oh my god. Alright. Roll the first. That's 19 on the die. Roll the second is 18 on the die, so I'll take the 18, you fuck. And then I'll add my survival to it once I find it on my stupid character sheet, which is +4, so it's 22.
Excellent.
You can also
Eat
add
me.
a guidance dice if you'd like to.
No, eat me.
I won't.
Eat my eggs.
Nor will anything on the way, because somehow, as a giant fucking penguin, you successfully navigate the first leg of this journey. And
This is how the tale of fucking Pingu was invented. Someone just watched this group of adventurers.
and approach
Yeah.
the fucking outskirts of the Fey-bog. You absolute fuck. Here we are. Magnificent. So the first thing that essentially you notice is coming into the outskirts of the Fey-bog, and Sal, you'll be intimately familiar with this environment, generally speaking. Your experience is predominantly with the western side of the Fey-bog, though, and you're fully aware that the eastern side of the Fey-bog is known to be a little more dangerous, a little more wild, a little more
Dodgy side of the bog.
It is the dodgy side of the bog. Absolutely correct.
Just some dodge bog.
Absolutely some dodge bog.
You can dodge an egg, you can dodge a bog.
That said, there's still maybe 1 or 2 opportunities to stop in at some kind of small outposts in this area before heading in, or you can just
Sure.
dive-
What other were creatures can bite our party? Let's go.
or you can just dive straight into the swamp itself
You don't really want to dive into the swamp.
if you all feel ready to roll.
Like, we can just ride the cart in there. We don't have to swim, right?
You know how the cart has wheels, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we've also previously mended it using vines and shit.
And mending.
It was.
Yeah.
I remember mending. I don't remember it being repaired with vines. And
Yeah.
So Vermilion got like Drew crafted a bunch of vines to hold the thing together while it was being mended, and then we just kept them because it's cool.
Right, great. Well, yeah, the vines will have started to dry out and kind of.
Yeah. That's cool. But I guess what I'm asking is, obviously, a bog isn't the best place for a cart with wheels. So can I use plant growth to get some girthy vines and attach them to the cart so it makes like sleigh tracks so we can sleigh through the bog on the cart?
You know, I think I'm just gonna fly. Good luck, guys.
Yeah, that's a pretty useful option to have.
We could also, if you want to flesh it out more, we could get like
Actual
carve some.
flesh.
We could carve some bark off some trees, is what I was gonna say. Slide them under the wheels and attach them with vines.
Here's what I'm gonna say: you can absolutely attach and with plant growth expand the vine situation on the wheels of this cart. As to whether or not that's successful or not, I guess we'll find out as you travel further into the bog. Because what you do notice that the ground beneath you starts to get softer. So being a bog, those of you more familiar with nature will be aware the key difference between this and a swamp is a bog is typically built on top of vegetable and organic matter, layers and layers and hundreds of years of compressed organic matter, and you begin to feel the effects of that as you head into the Fey-bog proper. A combination of waters from the rivers to the east, some flood waters from the rivers to the west, and just hundreds, if not thousands, of years of vegetable matter is what you have below you.
Oh no, this feels more like a marsh to me.
Eat it. I'm gonna get each of you please roll a d6 for me.
Smells kind of mingy.
Hot. Not the smell, the rolling of the die.
Sure, Emily, sure.
Oh no.
D6, eh?
Mm-hmm.
4.
Okay, Sal.
Oh,
You can roll with advantage, Sal. Tiny Wing, you don't need
I
to
don't know
roll.
what that means. But does it need to
It
be?
means you
high?
roll the second time and take the higher number. What
Correct.
part of this mechanic do you not get?
That is
Yeah.
correct.
Or
Excellent. Tiny
Ham
Wing.
Ham,
the
you
what?
literally have Ham the DM
Yeah, Ham the
as your
what?
name.
Well, no. To be fair, it's a random roll, not an actual.
it is a random
check
roll,
or
exactly. So,
save,
like, I mean, maybe the lowest
I
number was.
understand the
started.
confusion. I'm so sorry. Hey, Lucky, how you doing? Now, yeah, Tiny Wing won't have to roll, assuming that you're
Okay.
flying.
Yeah.
Lilith, what'd you get?
2.
The attitude, excellent. Malia,
Well, I already said 2. Why are you asking me again?
Yeah, let me.
Malia,
3.
excellent. And what was Vermilion's?
4.
Okay, excellent. Walking into this initial section of the Feywild, the light starts to get dim as sparse swamp trees begin to emerge from the ground around you.
Can't wait to make use of my dark vision.
Yeah, it's going to be great, right? Kaori takes a step,
Cast fire.
having rolled a 1, and sinks immediately into just this sucking wet mat of grasping vegetation.
Wow.
One full and entire leg into this organic matter. She's going to start to sink, in fact. She starts sinking. She's sinking 4 feet into this stuff. And
So wait, are we in the cart or not?
She'll be walking alongside of it.
Okay. Can I fucking I have a rope. Can I lasso her?
Yes, you can.
What's that? What check is that gonna be?
On the cart, so resting the cart, I assume, close enough to her to attempt this, or you're just gonna lasso
Well,
her?
see, my thought was we continue trundling along at a slow pace.
And the cart drags her out of it.
I tie the rope to the side of the cart,
Yeah.
or perhaps give it to Malia, who's canonically the strongest of our group,
Okay.
with her 13 in strength, and then I lasso Kaori, or at the very least throw her a rope that she can grab,
Okay.
and then eventually she is pulled from the. Wait, Sal's strong?
No, but if
Oh.
you tie the lasso, I'll just use invisible force and float the rope down to her, so we don't have to worry about risking like rolls and shit if you want.
That
I mean,
that actually.
Feel free to do the throwing and stuff, but
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Lilith will do that, and then as Sal floats it over, she's going to take full credit for the perfect shot.
Okay. So you
Because it's
do that.
invisible force, so it's not like I can see that Sal's
It is.
actually.
it is no.
Doing
he's,
anything.
he's going full Jedi with this one.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you're like.
So
No.
with that, I think we can say you've successfully gotten the rope to Kaori as she's sinking.
Grab the rope!
In the process, she has sunk another 5 feet.
Wait, so she's now 9 feet under the ground?
She is sinking fast into this vegetable matter.
Well, shit, Lilith can't swim.
So hold on, 9 feet. So she's vanished. She's gone.
She's under the
she
surface.
is now under the surface, but
Did
she
we
has
see her?
successfully caught the rope,
Okay.
and you see her vanish
All right.
below the surface.
All right. And grab the rope. Pull her in.
Amelia, you should stop the cart, probably. Okay,
No.
let's do it. Let's try and pull this fucking rope. I have a -2 to strength. How about you guys?
Who's pulling the rope?
I will assist
All of
with
us.
pulling the rope.
Yeah. I'll jump in there as well with my 10 strength.
I'm a giant penguin and I have flappy arms. What do you want?
All right, here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to get you lot to decide one of you to make the strength check,
Emily, what's your strength modifier?
and it'll be
You
an
wouldn't know.
advantage.
I do. That's true. I think knowing my own strength, it's not me.
I feel like I have done a lot of the heavy lifting here.
You-
For
you-
that
you
reason, I'll give it a go.
Considering
Lilith-
you're-
Do the thing.
Lilith will be at the back re-spooling the rope as we get slack.
I just in the interest of being fast, I looked up a dire penguin and it has a strength of 17.
Oh fuck!
Well, can't
Wait.
hold a rope though. It's got no fingers.
It has got beak.
Does have beak.
If you break my really nice rope, because this is silk rope, by the way, this is not like regular rope. This is like fancy rope.
Wow.
Are you
Yeah, I
having this
stole it.
conversation with the dire penguin, or are you getting this?
No, I'm at this
Take-
point. I'm
here.
just going. Let's go.
Here, pull on this.
You want me to roll?
Do it. Roll at advantage.
Wait, I'm bigger than that. Newt.
I don't need to because I just rolled a natural 20, baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wait,
for
guys,
22.
We had a rope inspector handy the whole time. We should have. Fuck!
This is very true.
Our funniest joke, and we forgot it.
No, fuck. off.
Doesn't work when he's a
Yeah,
giant penguin.
It doesn't. It really does not.
Well, I don't know about you, but my strength is feeling 22.
Which
Why?
absolutely successfully unplunges Kaori from the depths of this.
Does Kaori have her shoes on, or did
wonky
they get
darkness
just
below.
destroyed?
Surprisingly, she does, in fact, still have all of her gear and clothing on, yes.
They were about to say all of her shoes, implying there were more than the regular number of
And all
shoes.
of her shoes.
Kaori's been a
as
centaur
she-
the whole time.
I
She's
think as she is pulled up, I'm gonna like help her onto the cart and wipe the bog from her face and be like, "Don't do that again."
okay, excellent. She takes a seat on the cart, reassesses her decision to walk alongside it, and for the time being, will remain in the cart.
So Lilith has a priorities list. So first she's going to use prestidigitation to clean her rope and put that back in the bag of holding, and then she will
Understandable.
and then she will prestidigitate Kaori so that she's not boggy anymore.
Yeah, okay. Excellent.
And then I guess if Malia's hands got dirty, she'll do that too.
As a dire penguin,
Newt.
I'd like Vermilion to roll a survival check, please.
Newt.
Again, at disadvantage.
Ooh. 14.
Okay. The cart starts sinking into the moistened vegetation below.
It's truly sopping vegetation.
It sinks 2 feet to begin with. And Vermilion...
Newt.
Vermilgwyn? No, I don't know what to do with that. Pengmillion.
Peng Million's
No.
good. We'll go with Peng Million.
Pengmillion. You find yourself unable to actually
It's
progress.
just- Peng Million, pronounced by Benedict Cucumberpatch.
Excellent.
How much of this stuff that we're
Nerd.
driving on
Nerd.
is like water and vegetation, and how much of it looks muddy and dirt?
It is a solid combination. So, on the surface, it looks mostly like moss, like wet kind of moss and vegetation. Tinywing, without inspecting further, you probably won't have much of a view of that. But if you want to zip down and have a little look
I
at what's
would
going
like
on.
to, yes,
Yeah, okay.
because if there is a way that she could use her mold earth
Mhm.
to give some stability to it in order to
Yeah,
keep going,
I'm going to
she
get
would
you to
like
read the description of Mold Earth for me.
I will.
'Cause
You choose
I'm
a
going to make this
portion.
real wordy. We'll see how we go.
You choose a portion of dirt or stone that you can see within range and that fits within a 5-foot cube. You can manipulate it in one of the following ways. You can target an area of loose earth. You can instantaneously excavate it, move it along the ground, and deposit it up to 5 feet away. You cause shapes, colors, or both to appear on the dirt or stone, spelling out words, creating images, or shaping patterns. If the dirt or stone you target is on the ground, you cause it to become difficult terrain. Alternatively, you can cause the ground to become normal terrain if it is already difficult terrain. And this change lasts for 1 hour.
Okay. Are you going to attempt to cast Mold Earth to bring the
Make it less sinky.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it. In doing so, the part of the ground below that is in fact dirt and stone does exactly what you want it to. It kind of moves around, it even lifts up a little bit. What you find is that the peat below this initial layer of moss and water and matted grasses is just layer upon layer upon layer of plant and other organic matter. There's not a lot of dirt there. This is vines and grasses and branches and dead things below the surface.
Is it enough if we keep moving quickly that it could, if she kept casting it every 5 fucking feet?
It doesn't seem to have the effect that you want it to have on the cart, no.
Damn.
And after the attempt, it sinks another 3 feet. The cart sinks
Sorry.
another 3 feet into the bog.
How big is the cart? Because that's now 5 feet. So, like, we're also in.
Currently on the cart, yes.
All right, abandoned cards.
This is the worst day of my life.
Right.
Dude.
Sal's going to carefully survey around the cart and try and see if he can spot a piece of ground that looks less killy.
Okay.
And jump onto it.
I'll get you to make me a survival check at advantage, please.
I throw 1,000 ball bearings on the ground and then
They absorb the peat moss.
No, that's still not great. That's an 11. Curse you, -2 survival modifier.
Amazing. That sucks for you. You jump off the cart.
Yeah.
And you immediately sink 5 feet into the bog.
Right, bad move. Can
Right,
I-
okay.
Yep. Go.
I've got a grappling hook. Can I try and hook us onto a tree?
Yeah, you can absolutely give that a shot.
Okay, what roll is that?
Just roll, I guess, to hit the tree. We'll do it as a thrown weapon type attack.
What is that?
Great question. I couldn't tell off the top of my head, but we'll see what we can figure
Just
out.
want me to do like a sleight of hand check or something?
Just roll a d20 for the time being and add your dex modifier, please.
Okay. Cool, that is an 18. 16 plus 2. Wait, can I guide myself?
Yeah, sure. We'll let you do that.
That's a 4.
Yeah.
It's a 22.
Magic. You very successfully then whip around silk rope again, I assume.
It's the only rope I have.
Yeah, okay. And you're still on the cart, I take it, that's sinking.
Yeah, but if it's sunk 5 feet, then we're also in the bog because the cart can only be. It's only a small cart.
Not to the point where you're trapped yet, though, but yes, you will be
But yeah.
absolutely sucked in. I think what's happened is as the cart's sinking, there's like a space that's made that hasn't yet been filled in with vegetative matter. And yeah, you absolutely do. There's a tree. How long is that rope, and how far do you think you're going to be trying to throw it?
50 foot as far as I can. 50 foot minus however much is, let's say 49 feet from the knot.
Yeah.
And actually, let's say 30 feet so that I've still got like a 20-foot tail for everyone else.
Yeah, okay. Say you sink the grappling hook between some branches of a tree that's like 15, 20 feet away.
Mhm.
Successfully.
Everyone grab the rope.
Whilst they're doing that, Sal will very quickly whip out the rope that he's got in his pack and try and use an invisible force to get it onto a tree so that he doesn't just vanish
Yeah,
to a
excellent.
peaty grave.
Which I
And you
think you can do pretty
are within
easily.
rope range.
Yeah, very easily. Which means Sal will get you to do a strength check, but at advantage to use that rope once you've done that. As you sink another 2 feet into the bog.
Strength check. It's an 18.
Yeah, brilliant. So you managed to use that rope to pull yourself out of the bog, out of safety. Ham, odds or evens?
Who was that?
You.
Evens.
Okay, I'm so sorry. As you pull yourself out, you feel a little tug around your ankle.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do. It is an unfriendly tug. It feels very sharp, in fact. It feels as though your foot might be caught by something below the surface of the bog while you're pulling yourself up. I'm going to get you to roll a dex saving throw for me, please.
Oh, God. Rolling all the dice. What's my dex saving throw? Oh, that's right. I've made a character who's completely and totally physically average. That's a 5.
Oh, God. Okay, you are going to take 8 slashing damage
Ow.
from a section of razor vine that lies below the surface in the peat of the bog below as you pull yourself out.
He will absolutely let out a squawk of discomfort from that. There's something very sharp and pointy underneath all of this peaty mess.
But you do nonetheless pull yourself out. And pulling yourself presumably along the rope. Lilith, what's your plan with your rope?
Pulling myself out.
Okay. Malia. Tiny Wing, I assume that you are currently flying above everyone. Tiny Wing, is there any form of assistance you can or will be offering to those of your party members who do not have the power of flight at their disposal?
Don't have anything to help, I'm sorry.
Okay, you can encourage us.
I'm your little cheer squad.
Remind me,
Just-
how big is this bog? How long does this go for?
You have barely entered it.
Oh,
Yeah, but like if I
you
look into
still
the
have
distance.
a good 4 days of travel through
Oh, in the
this,
bog.
in
Okay,
the
great.
bog to get to the area that you think
Oh,
you're going to
wet,
find Mud-Eye
boggy
Magnet.
days.
That's great. Okay, disregard my existence. Thank you.
Anyway,
So-
you could start
There
threatening.
goes my
everybody with
plan,
Eldritch
so that's
blasts.
great.
Malia
You
sinks
could
into the
just chase
bog.
people and just
No, just start swimming.
There is not enough water for you to do that.
Okay, I'm not actually going to do as if
Excellent.
Malia's going to fucking do that. No. But I will look up at Tiny Wing if I can see her and say, if you can see anything that might be able to help us out, that would be really helpful.
She's gonna sort of look around a little bit wildly because she doesn't know what to do. And see if she can spot something that might help them out.
I mean,
from her
there
little
is a
vantage
rope
point.
with 20 feet of tail for
Yeah.
2 other people to grab.
Correct. Currently, there are
Which-
two ropes attached to a tree.
Yeah, by the way, Promethean, just remember you can't kill a player character when the player's not here. So, Kaori.
Want to
Watch
fucking
him.
bet?
Wow, I'm truly so aroused. Do that again.
And Malia is nowhere near any of these ropes.
Yes. So Malia, having had been on the cart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll have access to Lilith's rope that was thrown off the cart.
I also have my own rope that I will pull out if I panic and need it.
Okay. Excellent. Vermilion, you are currently a dire penguin.
Yes,
Um,
I would like to try something.
okay. Great.
Yeah, how
Um,
tall is a dire penguin?
Well, I would first like to cease being a dire penguin,
Mm-hmm. Back to Vermilion. Yeah.
right? And Now, you said that this bog is just a conglomerate of plants, right? Plant matter.
A significant amount of the peat below is made up of plant matter, yes.
Okay. I would like to cast Speak with Plants,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to have a chat to the bog plants.
Okay.
They're like, so I'm gonna cast. So I cast Speak with Plants. I'm like, hey bog plants. How are you guys going today?
Is there a specific... So, from approximately this point to...
Give us your plant voice, Prometheus.
infinity into the bog at this point.
Oh, do you want to be asking if there's a range?
So what you see... Well, so the specific plant growth that you see around you. So you have the trees a little distance off that we've got 2 ropes currently sitting in. They seem to be on relatively solid ground, right? Enough that the trees have found purchase, so it seems relatively safe over there. Directly in front of and below you, what you're seeing is essentially a mat of mosses and grasses, as Tiny Wing discovered. Below that, you're now aware via Sal, there's razor vine of some kind underneath that. Below that, and being a druid, I'll give you this for free, I guess.
Thank you, Lord Daddy.
The vegetable matter below is mostly dead, right? So there's very little that you can get from a conversation with the problem itself, right? But you do have options if you want to talk to plants.
Yeah, I have like a range. It's a range of 30 feet. It doesn't say in like it doesn't contextually say what shape. It just says within 30 feet. So I'm assuming that is outward and upward and downward.
Yeah. Here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, fuck. Here we go.
Through the bog, as with many plants, and this will very likely be a fairly common experience having used this spell before, through the roots of the trees and the grasses and the rushes and the moss runs a mycelium network of fungi.
Fucking love that for me.
Right? And what you find in response is a convergence of voices and viewpoints and desires and wants and needs. And what was your actual question or comment to the vegetation before?
Yeah, so it's like, hello, am I addressing the plant network of this bog?
You get an answer that in group mind plant think feels like a yes.
Hi, listen, we're having a little trouble. We kind of want to pass through here, but the surface doesn't seem very stable for us, and I was wondering if you would be kind enough to help us out by sort of consolidating your growth into a much more dense mat that we would be able to walk on, please.
There is a moment of confusion from the plant life around you. The sense that you get, there's no specific words. They understand, I think, what it is that you're asking of them. But what you get in response to that is a sense of confusion, a sense of how the fuck do you expect us plants to grow harder than we normally do?
I'm sorry, are you cowarding out from doing a plant voice? Is that what's happening?
No,
Yes, cowarding out from
I'm
doing
just saying
Yes.
the sense of the response.
Coward.
Well, you know, you don't have to grow harder. You just kind of have to drift and intermingle with each other. You're sitting on top of a bunch of decayed plants that are, I assume, give you a little bit of leeway to float around a little. So if you could kind of float nearer to each other and kind of entangle yourselves a little bit, just for long enough for us to walk on you. You don't have to stay like that forever, but as we pass along you, if you could do that so that we can walk along you and then you can just go back to doing whatever you like.
The plants, it's almost as though they're talking to themselves briefly.
Yeah.
And then you feel, how long does this spell last for?
10 minutes.
Okay, so we can have quite a long conversation. This is
We
gonna be
can
amazing.
indeed.
The attention of this collective mindset of vegetative matter turns back to you, and you hear what is the plant equivalent of laughter. 1,000 tiny whispers like blades of grass in the wind, or vines moving against each other as a footfall steps on them. Why? When you will be so delicious.
I mean, I'm sure you could forego deliciousness for a little bit, but if you're interested, I can certainly arrange some manure from various animals that might be very sustaining to you.
Oh no. No. Gonna shit on you. Wow.
We feed on thousands of years of our ancestors, and thousands of years more of yours. What can you possibly offer other than your flesh?
Look, that's a great question. Have you ever had old hobgoblin? Oh, I'm so glad Sal can't understand plant.
Yeah, what does it sound like to us? Are we just like
Yeah, I truly do. That would be very interesting to know. what it
just
sounds
making chittering noises? Like a cat that's watching a bird?
Yeah, I feel like it's very similar. There's a sense of rustling, and well, no, hey, this is your spell, NBC. What does it sound like when Vermilion's using talk and speak with plants?
Oh, look, I think it just sounds exactly like you've described it. It's that that whispering of leaves brushing against each other, blades of grass intermingling, etc., etc. It can't. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. No, not into the hobgoblin.
There's no response that suggests that has enticed them in your favor. No.
What could I offer the plants? Is there anything you desire other than sustenance? What do plants need? Do y'all get enough sun? You getting enough nitrogen?
The the sense of the response that you get is at the mention of sun, and particularly in this area, like it becomes immediately apparent that in what is starting to become a heavily wooded area, this is perhaps as not a healthy patch of the bog as some of the others, right? So this place, this vast expanse of fucking densely packed marshland before you, it kind of relies on a bit of a lack of a sunlight to do what it does, to to break down all of this ageless vegetable matter and kind of feed from that, right? It is feeding from the bones of itself and anything and everything that has fallen to it over time. It requires no more nourishment than that. It's never going to say no, but it requires nothing more than that, and the only other sense that you get is to grow, to expand. And in order to do so, more nourishment is required. The only thing of worth to these plants is the organic material that you have that it can use to increase its ability to do so.
So you guys don't want some sunlight, huh? Because, I can kind of make that happen. A little bit more photosynthesis.
There is one small patch
Mm.
at 10 feet away
Mm.
that throws a slightly curious response to you. It's curious about the concept separately to the malicious, very cruel intent of the remaining bog.
I love that it's now like canon that Vermilion's just introducing the concept of photosynthesis to a bunch of plants. Just want to eat our skin. Like, it's great.
Listen, I'm trying to save our fucking asses, all right? So give me.
Why are
give
they
me a
going
little
for our
leeway.
ass skin first?
Well, you guys sat down in the bog.
You know what they say? Don't sit down in the bog. Let the bog sit down in you.
No one says that.
They do now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's happening.
Hmm.
We'll get Lockie on it. It'll become a thing like that. So yeah, a mild curiosity from a small patch of vegetation. Other than that, no bites, so to speak. Sal, we'll jump over to the others real quick halfway through this
Please do.
conversation. Sal, successfully able to pull yourself out of the mud, bleeding a little bit from some razor vine, but you do pull yourself up on the rope closer to this tree. There's a section of a good maybe 10, 12 feet or so around the tree that seems relatively solid. And being familiar kind of with the environment, you feel a little bit foolish that you succumbed to a bit and kind of perhaps think about ways in which you might better be able to kind of survey the area and potentially avoid those kinds of sections before that you might run into again. Malia, you haven't pulled yourself out of anything yet, correct?
No, you haven't made me roll for it yet.
Yeah, I would
so
like
that's
you
nice.
to roll a strength check, please, as the cart sinks another 5 feet.
Oh wow! So I get punished for you not asking me? Okay, great.
Correct.
Strength or it doesn't matter.
Strength, please.
Can I use Dex instead?
No.
Why? I want to flip out of the bog.
You can use the very last seconds to perform some kind of acrobatics check to see how far off the cart you can flip.
Okay, great. I can do that. Yeah, it's really good.
What'd you roll?
Can I use my inspiration?
Yeah, you can.
Wait, how do you use inspiration again?
You just click it off so it's not there
Oh,
anymore.
re-roll. Yeah, so you
just
get
have
to re-roll.
Yeah. What'd you
Yeah,
roll?
great. A 3.
Whoa.
The good news is that you can do that laugh again because I rolled a 4.
Magnificent. You would,
Which does bring me to a total of 6.
which is still, I'm afraid, not enough. As this cart slips
Good at saving
fully
others.
now below
Terrible
the
at saving
surface, Malia takes the last.
One sec, can I
possible
check the
moment.
Can I check the wording of something real quick?
You absolutely can.
Where's my new shit? Did Ash read the character
Read
sheet
rules.
before? What?
What
Ash make
rules?
stuff. Ash make prop. Ash read rule.
Ash can't read.
Ash can't read.
Ash read not.
I don't think it's gonna work.
What are you thinking?
Fuck it, I'm dead. Let's
What
go.
are you thinking? What do you got?
Bardic inspiration.
What?
It says it can be added after seeing the roll, but before knowing the outcome. Yeah, so I feel like it's probably a little too late.
I feel like the outcome was hinted at.
I feel like the outcome was just very fucking filthy.
Yeah, look.
I was gonna say moist, but I was just like, I couldn't commit to it.
Well, it's a wet bog.
We'll play with that at a later time. I think for this
Yeah, that's fine.
particular instance.
Promethean would like
Um,
to see me suffer, and I'm into it. It's fine.
Correct. And
Look, it's all
Malia
good. I
does.
thought of it at the wrong time. So
Malia tries to do a sick fucking flip off of the cart as it's sinking into the bog. And unfortunately, a piece of vine kind of breaks towards the front end of the cart and kind of flips up out of this mess of rotten vegetation and kind of slaps her in the leg as she does so. And she falls splat immediately into this mess of vegetation. And Malia, you immediately sink 5 feet.
Okay, great.
The cart
I'm
has
5 foot like fucking 4,
the
so
cart
I'm.
has made like a significant kind of depression in the vegetation matter below it, and you just
oh, is it
drop.
sad because it's not organic?
Good news is depression is Malia's middle name. So
You drop, and this and the bog itself starts then closing in around you. As
That's fine.
It does so.
it's fine.
So like she
Sal,
has some time before she's like fully encased in the.
Like I'm under. My face would be under.
Yeah, but like if you're in the depression made by the cart, then
you
like
still have
there's
a
like
little
you've
bit
got
of
like
air as the
yeah,
bog kind of
you've got
starts
some
closing.
time.
You've got a little bit of time. You can still breathe at this
you
stage.
can probably
That's
get
fine.
up. Is
all good. all good. It's okay. Nobody panic. It's gonna be fine.
I'm not panicking. If you die, you die.
Lilith,
If I die, that's a problem.
Lilith, did you clamber out? Do we roll a strength check for you with your rope?
I have not rolled yet.
Okay, would you like to do that, please?
Not really, but I'm going to do it anyway. I too am going to use my inspiration to re-roll because that was also a 4. That's not much better. That's a 9 minus 2. It's a 7.
Holy shit. You start pulling yourself with this rope. And I think what happens is you find your foot kind of snags on some particularly thick kind of rushy grass just below the surface of the bog. And the rope kind of dips a little bit as it does so, picks up a bit of kind of mud and ick from this decaying vegetable matter, and you find that your hands slip. I'm going to get you to roll a dex saving throw for me.
I can do that. I'm okay with those. If they would appear on my screen, it's just like this. No, it's the screen on the app just went black. Amazing. That's cool. There's 18.
Excellent.
So 16 plus 2.
You manage to save yourself and re-grab the rope, and I'll get you to make a second strength check, please.
Sure. But here's what I'm gonna do when I've got that rope again. Can I forego the strength check for a moment to prestidigitate the area that I'm holding onto to clean it, and then wrap it around my wrist twice before grabbing it again.
Okay, sure. You can absolutely
Yeah,
do
cool.
that.
Cool.
It will mean nothing if you roll a shitty roll again, but yes, you may.
Yeah. Cool. Amazing.
Strength check.
That's way better. That's a 19 plus 2 minus 2 because I guidance. So this is a 19.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
I did it.
You managed to pull
Look
yourself
at
up
this strong now.
next to Sal on relatively safe little patch of land. Tiny Wing cheering you along all the way.
Yeah. How? 2 questions. 1, how close is the rope to the depression made by the cart? 2, how strong is Tiny Wing? And could she pick up the end of the rope and flop it into the hole? I don't know how strong she is.
Tiny Wing.
I feel like it's a 4.
Tiny Wing's
18.
Oh no, she's actually pretty.
Tiny Wing's
she's-
easily
she's-
strong enough
yeah.
to pick up some rope.
Because she wasn't strong enough to spin a bottle, if I recall. It was like a series of strength checks for that one.
Well, yeah, but she could absolutely.
It's just that
pick
she
up
was
some
shit
rope.
faced then.
True, she drank the equivalent of a bucket of alcohol.
She can pick up rope.
Yeah, so Lilith looking back is just gonna be like, Tiny Wing, grab the rope, put it in the hole.
Which hole?
The one that Malia's in. And probably Kaori. Where the fuck is Kaori in all of this? Whereas Kaori just cast Fireball down and just like shot
I
herself
think
up
I had
into
left her
space.
back on the cart.
She, as far as we know, she's still on the cart. We'll get there in a sec.
Alright, well, Tony will take the rope over to Malia. And like you know,
Malia's
as
forehead.
close to her hand as she can without
Ooh,
being
okay.
in the bog herself.
Okay, excellent. I love that you worded it that way specifically because fuck, it would have been hilarious if
I don't
Tiny
want
Wing
mud
got
on my
eaten
wings.
No, it
by the
wouldn't
bog.
have.
That would have been brilliant. Oh, you can fly.
I also have a question. Am I taking any damage from
Not yet.
being within the bog?
Not yet.
Can I?
Well, what you find
67
is you
points of
see,
acid
You
damage.
see overhead.
There's a reason I'm asking.
Oh wow. Not at this point. What you see though, Malia, is Tiny
How
Wing.
can I see? My head is under the bog.
Because it is still open, right? So you've,
right,
you've
okay.
fallen into a excavated space in this
Right, okay, yeah,
vegetation
cool.
made by the cart. It is
Yeah,
starting to close in
understand
on
now.
you from the
The
sides.
walls are closing in.
Right, like fucking Star Wars junk scene, trash.
Dunno, I haven't
compactor
seen that.
scene. And we're going to a break while I deal with that. Oh my god.
No.
So what is happening is, Malia, you are seeking into this depression. The vegetative matter is closing in on you slowly. What you see
Yeah.
as you kind of look out into the sky above is Tiny Wing come in like fucking a rescue chopper with this rope and just kind of toss it in your direction. She doesn't hand it directly to you. She just kind of gives you enough of a chance to grab it. I'm gonna get you to
Okay.
make a dex
Two
check,
qu-
please, to grab
Two
the rope.
questions. One, are you introducing choppers to Sonda? Rescue
No,
helicopters
it's a
at
meta
sea?
comment.
Two, is Tiny Wing just going,
That's up to Saz. Dex check, please, from Malia to see if she can grab
Oh, sorry,
this
I didn't
rope.
hear you. Dex check, you say, not a save?
Not a save. You're trying to grab the
God
rope.
damn.
It feels like if you've ever seen the first animated Rescuers film where there's that little dragonfly guy called Evan Root, I feel like that's what Tiny Wing sounds like when she's flying over to drop the rope.
I think what would happen is Malia's kind of standing there within this deep depression, which is also her middle name, and she's like looking around, trying to figure out there's no one else near her, I guess, in this enclosing space, and Tiny Wing starts flying over, but like it's almost like peripherals just don't see it, and like there's something being tossed. And I'm panicking about the walls closing in, and I roll a 6.
Holy shit.
Can I give advantage on that by again using invisible force to guide the tip of the rope? Of the rope?
I assume you'll need a line of sight
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
You do not have that. So Malia's below. You
That's
might
cool.
be able to see her hands. I guess you could use invisible force to encourage. Yeah, look.
I wouldn't know if I can't see, then I can't see if she catches it or not. So then
It's cool. You guys don't even like me.
I
Stop
think
pretending.
you'll have enough of a vantage point. You'll be watching Tiny Wing anyway to clock what's happening. So yeah, let's say that you can do that, and we will allow advantage on the dex check to grab that rope.
Okay. Advantage, you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, dice. Don't fuck with me. That's a natural 1.
can you just roll? So it's still a 6 though.
Hey, remember
because-
that time we came back to
not a
2025
save,
and
so
I
it's a 4.
accidentally killed some of the party in a fucking swamp?
It's fine. It's going to be fine. It's all good.
You
It's all good.
Promethean, I have a
Stop, everyone
question.
stop panicking. It's going to be fine.
You think it's going to be fine, but what happens is the Fabog begins to close in around you, and with a
Great.
hand in the air and a rope just out of reach,
It's fine.
you find yourself enclosed. in
Great. Am I taking
darkness.
damage?
I have a question.
And we will
Oh, for
go
fuck's
to a
sake.
break there and be back in about 10 minutes or so.
Excellent.
Hey,
Well,
quick
fuck.
shout out to everyone hanging out in chat. Thank you. We fucking love you. Welcome if you've joined while I've been intensely trying to both kill and also not kill my
It's
delightful
fine.
players.
Stop panicking. Everyone just breathe.
Welcome to
the
the
worst
Sword
No
of the
will
one's
Skull.
happen.
panicked. Prometheus more panicked than everyone.
You've
gonna be
set
fine.
10 steps into this place and you still have 3 days of travel through it before you get
Yeah, we're
anywhere
just
even
gonna
remotely interesting.
We're just
I
gonna
can't wait.
swing through the trees.
We should have bought
That's
our
how
bog
we're gonna-
boots. It's fine.
Hey, what we're going
Bog
to do
boots.
right now is we're going to go to a little break, and then we'll be back in 10 minutes. Hopefully, a bunch of you are still here to figure out whether or not Malia
Not
can
Malaya.
get her way out of this swamp or be helped to do so. We'll figure out what the hell happens to
Little
Vermilion,
scritchies.
Vermilion,
Scritchies for the chat.
who hasn't rolled
Scritchies for the
shit
chat.
to check what's going on yet, but is still mid-conversation with a bunch of vegetation, seeing if he can somehow convince it to be helpful in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, these guys are
Also-
fine.
Also, super apologies to all the new viewers in chat. We're not usually like this. We're just happy to see each other.
We are usually like this. That's a lie.
We're not usually
hey,
this bad. It's pretty bad.
Chin
tonight.
scratches
Hey.
for the chat. Take us out.
Be nice and look cute while we go out. Yeah, chin scratches. I like that. It's good.
Oh!
See you soon. Perfect. All right, I so need to wee. What shaped? Oh my god! I'll be back in a minute. Hey,
I hope I die in this
Hi.
bog.
Welcome, Temple of Doom.
welcome, greetings, g'day, hello. Welcome back to the Law Rights, I
I'm
guess.
so sorry if you can see my cat attempting to escape this room like I've imprisoned them for life.
I'm waiting for him to attack Percy.
Don't. Leave
I can make
Percy
that
alone.
happen.
Do it.
Hey, if you want to hear Percy's accent as conveyed by AJ Winters of Winter's Tales, feel free to watch Castleton over at Winter's Tales. And maybe, hopefully, my character and Emily's character will survive that because you're watching and are helping us do it.
I want your
Meanwhile,
money.
Getting pretty dicey.
I want you to donate stuff to Winter's Tales Ko-Fi to keep my character alive, yes. Hey,
And also, it's like, what is it? Half the donations go to the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund?
no,
that.
not
no.
for part 2, no.
Oh,
Not
sorry,
part
that
two.
was season 1. Beg your pardon.
No, that
Oh.
money pays AJ's bills, the end.
Oh, okay.
Ash has pointed something out very fairly and rightly. I fucked up at the beginning of this session in a fairly big way, because you know what we
It's
didn't
not
do?
new.
I fucked up in at least 3 separate significant
Who once again
ways.
has fucked up.
Correct. And that's going to happen
The
from time
Fucked
to
up
time.
little guy.
What we didn't do, completely wrongly, for the first session back of 2025 is a musical intro. We're going to do that after we have a quick little recap of what's happened in this session so far. Very quickly, these guys are heading into a place called the Fabog. It is a very, I want to say swamp-like region, but it is, I guess, more of a, I'm trying to think of the actual technical term. It's a peat bog is what it is.
Bog.
The area that they've wandered into is
Who's peat?
essentially mostly dead vegetable matter.
I don't know,
underneath
but
it.
we're inside his bog, so...
Correct. And they have ventured into this place and almost immediately sunk into the peat. A couple of them have successfully pulled themselves out, including Salazlo, who has incredible MCDM flavored mind powers, which he used to get a rope around a tree and then successfully pull himself out, which was great. Tiny Wing, our adorably terrifying little fairy, doesn't need to worry. She's flying. She's good. Lilith, our tiefling fucking cleric, has managed to throw a rope around a tree. Good job.
That's true, I had a grappling hook.
Correct, there's a grappling hook involved. Climbed out a little ways, fell, recovered, and is successfully now parked next to Sal, just living her best, not sinking to her death life. Vermilion, our
The idiot.
elven druid, is currently in conversation with the living vegetation in the area, trying to convince it to help them out. And Malia tried to do a cool backflip off of the cart as it sank into the bog. Absolutely faffed it, and has fallen directly in, and has just had this thick, dense, decaying mass completely envelop her whole 5-foot person. Ash, with
Yeah.
that recap done, can we have, please, a musical intro? Thank you. Welcome back to the Sword of the Skulls. Vermilion, you are not getting very far in this conversation with the vegetation. It seems hungry. It seems perfectly fine with its existence. And it doesn't seem particularly inclined to help any of you survive.
Thank you for that, because that directs my play for the next little bit, and I won't waste any more time talking to this thing.
Excellent.
That's the DM's way of saying, stop with this, you're wasting time, and it's not going to work.
Approximately halfway into this conversation, you still have a good 5 minutes left of the spell's effect. Roll a perception check for me. Or what's your passive perception?
Passive perception, that's a really great question. 17.
Oh yeah, you absolutely clock Malia falling arse over tit into the bog.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I don't think I fell ass over tit.
You faffed an acrobatics check, you absolutely fell arse over tit into the bog.
Wow. Sure.
You did specify your leg getting caught, which implies that you either went or you went.
There was definitely a... Nope. That was way too poppy. There was a sound that Ash made involved. Vermilion.
Okay. Well. Excuse me, Plant Mass. We may continue this conversation later, but right now I have to go save my best friend. And can I get? Could you just give me a just a rundown of how wet the surface of the bog is?
The surface isn't super soaked, right? It's moist for sure,
Yeah.
right? There's
Mhm,
enough
mhm.
there to keep the moss on the top layer of this thing well and truly thriving. Below that, it's real squelchy, right? You feel or have felt as you've been walking on it as a dire penguin for a little while there, a full and complete squelch below every step.
Okay.
Like just
So it's wet.
Squelch,
Wet.
squelch as you traverse.
Stop
as you traverse.
So
this
squelchy.
stuff. Yes, Ash.
But so before break, I had a question. I have two questions, but I'm only going to ask one of them. Vermilion
Why?
was pulling because the other one's not relevant to the current scene that Vermilion's in. Vermilion was pulling the cart. The cart has been pulled under. Vermilion was wrapped in the ropes that were pulling the cart.
Vermilion also unwild shaped and will have been able to shrug off those
But did he?
bindings relatively quickly and easily.
Absolutely. I'm not a Vermilion, despite what you may think, is not that much of an idiot.
No, but he is a rope inspector, and maybe he likes to keep those things close.
You look. Reasonable question.
Your best friend has disappeared into the fucking void of this thing. So yeah, so it's pretty wet. Like there's a lot of moisture involved in this place, and the decaying kind of vegetable matter has its own, I guess, expression of filth, and that's not dry.
Okay. It's not dry. It's squelchingly moist. Can I? Second question. Just for my own theater of the mind visualization.
Sure.
Is how close is everyone together? Is everyone within 30 feet of me?
So we're gonna say Sal and Lilith. We're gonna say are about somewhere between 15 and 20 feet away on fairly safe ground.
Tiny Wing is flying.
Tiny Wing's flying, and directly above Malia currently, who's probably, let's say, maybe 8 feet away from where you are.
Okay. Can I still see part of Malia?
Promethean did specify that her hand was outside.
That's
box.
Yeah. I think you will see exactly that. So you'll see maybe the tips of her fingers as she tends to grab the rope that Tiny Wing's kind of thrown in her direction, and misses, and you see the rope kind of land on the top of the section above Malia.
Okay. As I can see the tips of Malia's fingers, and how far away is Malia's hand from me?
Yeah, probably saying so about 8 feet.
Okay. In that case, I would like to...
Actually, a bit closer than that because she tried to flip.
Yeah.
Essentially in your direction. So we'll say 5.
It's truly best friend material.
Yeah.
In that case, I would like to cast Water Walk.
Okay. Before you do that, I'm going to require you to make a survival check yourself, please.
Yeah, fucking all right.
Finish his name again.
Am I getting a flat roll this time, or are you trying to bitch me out of something else?
It's just a flat roll.
Yeah, good. 16 plus 4 is a dirty 20 on survival.
Yeah, easy. Go ahead and cast Water Walk.
Great. So I would cast Water Walk on everyone because it's up to 10 willing creatures within range. Range is 30 feet.
Yeah.
And so the spell grants the ability to move across any liquid surface such as water, acid, mud, snow, quicksand, or lava as if it were harmless solid ground. Creatures crossing molten lava can still take damage from the heat. Up to 10 willing creatures you can see within range gain this ability for the duration. The duration is 1 hour. If you target a creature submerged in a liquid, the spell carries the target to the surface of the liquid at a rate of 60 feet per round.
Okay, excellent. So, Sal, you realize, so I mentioned before, you feel a little bit kind of bad perhaps that you hadn't been able to clock the danger of this environment. The reason for that being is the side of the Fabog that you're most familiar with is on much higher ground, right? So the water of the area kind of drains out of that area. It is nowhere near as dangerous in this sense in the part of the Fabog that you're familiar with as this much lower eastern end of the bog. And as pointed out, this is the section in which at least 3 separate rivers kind of the floodwaters submerge into. And I think there's sufficient enough water content throughout the bog that this spell will be successful. And Malia, you find yourself
Ejected.
immediately
Yeah. No.
trapped and in the dark and alone, and for a moment you have no
Wow,
idea.
this is the depression.
No idea whether or not you're going to survive. And then, NBC, do you want to describe how Malia is lifted via the water content of this bog to the surface, please?
Sure. So I think Malia, having just gone under the surface, is kind of slowly disgorged via an almost peristaltic action of the water moving and undulating through this plant material, and is disgorged with truly the most disgusting sucking sound that you've ever heard.
Excellent. So Malia is in fact squelched out of the bog to its surface, and you find yourself able to get purchase on the surface of the bog. You then all watch as Kaori, so as this cart is kind of sinking into the bog, it tilts like a fucking sinking ship almost, being sucked down into the vegetation. Is that spell only applicable? It's got to be only applicable to creatures, right?
Can you cast Awaken on the cart really quick?
Fucking hell, no.
As this thing starts...
Yeah, it creates willing creatures.
Excellent. As it starts sinking, you see Kaori kind of clamber up over the top of the car, jump down onto the top of the bog, freak out for a little bit, thinking that she's going to sink, and entirely surprised that she isn't, just casually walks over to where Sal and Lilith are. Past Malia.
It was like rushing squelch off of her, I guess.
Excellent.
Hey, best friend, good thing you're still alive.
I could have gotten myself out of there.
I very much doubt that.
You don't know.
You're right, I don't. Now we'll never find out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Pro, with
Hey, Sal, thanks for leading this into this death trap.
Yeah, look, maybe this was a slightly poor choice on my behalf. You're
trying to make us all like Malia's parents?
Wow. Hey, Pro.
Yo.
Taking into account Sal's knowledge and what's going on, what am I trying to say?
I'll shortcut it. I'll let you roll either a survival or history check.
I will roll a history check.
Okay.
Because basically it's just like, I want to know, is going the rest of this way just going to actually be a really fucking stupid idea? And do we need to just go down the main road? Okay, so I rolled that 27.
Fuck me. What you recall, specifically from probably your travels around the area as opposed to kind of core historical knowledge, is mention of bog shoes that folk use when foraging in this area. There are some really, really good mushrooms available in this part of the bog, especially that grow on certain trees, but they're pretty deep in. It's real dangerous to go and try and get them. And you recall a conversation in which it was described to you that shoes of a fairly large kind of width and length, made of, branches and vines, can be put to great effect to prevent this exact kind of scenario sinking into the bog.
So, this is just just for, I guess, a point of reference, the parts of the bog that I'm from aren't as wet and moist and murdery like this. At least not the ground. There's things that live there which might do it.
Right.
But anyway,
no, that's just your ex-wife.
I mean, she wasn't
Good
not
one.
really. She's not from here. She's from somewhere else. I mean, that's a completely different story. Anyway, but what I did kind of remember, and I probably should have remembered before, but I didn't. So you can
Yeah.
actually these things. Some people call them bog shoes. The cooler people call them bog boots. That you can like make and put on your feet, which will make sure that you don't sink into the peat and stuff. We could probably just find stuff around here, like vines and bits of wood and stuff like that, and we'd be able to get through here fine. We wouldn't have to worry about sinking like we did now.
Didn't bloody work for the cart, did it?
No, but I mean, it's just a cart. I mean, really.
Hey, Sal, come here a second. Sal, come here. Come here. I want to tell you. I want to ask you something.
Sal will very hesitantly approach Vermilion. Sure.
Vermilion gets truly so uncomfortably close to Sal's face. It's like, hey, so whenever you have a cool little plan about which way we should go in the bog, maybe remember this kind of detail.
Look,
Of course.
Why-
We put it to a
Just
vote.
for next time.
We all
no.
said we agreed that the dangerous path was better because it was out of the way of civilization.
This
This is
true.
not. Weirdly enough, I can't believe I'm defending the hobgoblin. But this was on all of us, not just him.
I mean, my species doesn't define what. Like, anyway, look, I appreciate that, but also like what Vermilion is saying is kind of fair. I mean, it's just I'm not used to going through this part of the bogs, and to
Do
be
we just
honest, I
redivert?
had personal reasons for it. No, I really don't want to go the other way. I've got my reasons.
Can we not disguise you?
That's got nothing to do with that. I mean, look again.
I don't suppose you have 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of bog shoes.
I mean, we can literally make them from like pieces of trees and vines and stuff. Like it's easy, but once again, like we're a group. I'm more than happy if we want to like back out and go down the main route. We can just do that. I mean, again, not really my favorite choice, but
Listen, I'm no quitter, but I am more confident in talking my way out of a thing than shooing my way out. That being said, if you're really that worried about going the other way, we can do the
no,
shoes.
it's not.
fine.
It's not a worry thing.
It can get worse, okay?
It'll be.
I look down
it-
at myself covered in bog.
Look, I mean, you are particularly PT.
And it does not smell good.
I am slowly prestidigitating myself, and then one by one, everyone else.
Listen, you guys decide amongst yourselves which way you want to go. I have to do something really quickly. And then I would like to, if there's some time remaining on my speak with plants, I would like to talk to the plants once again.
Is it concentration?
It's not.
Okay, excellent. Then yeah, you'll have say a minute left.
Okay. Hey, plant coagulation. We're looking for hag, which to you I guess would be a magical presence of great magnitude, somewhere in this bog. Don't suppose you'd be able to direct us to where that might be, especially now that we've fed you a very big, delicious cart made of wood that you could consume. I feel that's fair trade.
The collective entity of this gathered vegetative material, with a very not very. They're not super satisfied with what's fallen into the bog, I guess, but they're not unsatisfied with it. And the response that you get is, "Enjoy your doom." And you see, as though a wind is passing through, despite the air being completely still, the grasses and moss and rushes just kind of start carving a line not directly, almost directly north from where you currently are.
Hey guys, you see that? That's the way to Mud Eye Maggie, according to the plants.
Northwest, we'll say this points.
Well, I mean, if you want to keep going this way, we can make ourselves some boats, and we'll go that way then. Is that what we're wanting to do?
Well, we have a direction now. We were just kind of going to wing it before. Assuming we trust the plants.
Well, sure. Sal's going to go and start getting together the bits and pieces to whip up some
Bog shoes.
bog footwear,
Yeah.
bog thongs.
Some bog thongs. Fuck yeah.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Absolutely.
No, I
Weirdly
want
enough,
bog boots.
you find 10 bread clips so that you can plug the bottom of them.
Sal, are you gonna create these solo, or is
No,
anyone else in the
100%.
party helping with this? What's happening?
Malia would understand that she's not good at this and will not attempt to help unless asked.
Sal will use his prodigious intellect to describe to someone else how to make it.
Okay.
Possibly actually Vermilion, because he's not so good at action. He's good at knowing, he's not good at doing.
Okay.
So
Sure, I can
Vermilion,
help.
This is the concept, and he'll just go into
Mhm.
grand detail about everything that's required with it.
Okay. I'm gonna need to know specifically who's contributing to the creation of the bog thongs, please.
Sure.
It depends. How good is Salazar at giving instructions?
I mean, I like to think based on his intelligence, he's and his charisma. Actually, he's
Oh.
actually pretty good.
Hopefully better than at giving directions.
Do it as a roll. Roll me an intelligence check, please. Sal.
Rolling that one, it'd be funny.
Look,
For the gags.
I can gag you.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
No, it's not a 1. It's only a 22.
Super clear instructions. Basically, a mud map of the actual design, a literal mud map of the design required, and a solid indication of what materials are going to be required and how to use them to create 5 sets of these.
A really tiny pair for Tiny Wing. Just in case she decides to walk.
Just to make
That's what
sure
I've got
that she's
helpful.
still part of the group.
We just make her like a snowboard, and she gets get like pulled along behind someone.
Just some galoshes.
Yeah,
But you
alright.
probably don't weigh anything, so I mean, you wouldn't actually even you wouldn't have enough mass to sink.
Correct. Tiny Wing could literally just skip over the moss, I think, without too much concern.
Oh, all right, we'll bog up then.
All right, cool.
Bug up.
I'm going to have... So again, who specifically is contributing to this effort? Vermilion,
Grudgingly, Lilith will.
Sal, Lilith.
I'll help with materials. I'll go find what they need.
Okay, excellent. So Malia is the only... Malia and Kaori. Kaori's like, I'll
Spend my time
mess it up.
like being upset about the fact that I embarrassed myself in the bog.
Ass over tit flip.
We've all been there.
We have. Okay, in which case I require the 4
Wait,
of...
everyone else here has been swallowed up by a depressing bog? That's crazy.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Alright.
I mean, have you seen the Never-Ending Story? It's called The Swamp of Sadness.
Oh,
It
too
killed a
soon.
I have
horse.
bud.
not seen
Oh,
the never
yeah.
ending story.
Well, a horse dies.
Whoa.
Why would you do that?
I require the 4 of you to roll a survival check, please.
Okay.
Ah.
Can I do it with advantage
We're
because I
going
want
to
to
do
use
it with
Druidcraft?
advantage because of how good Sal's instructions were.
Damn
Okay.
straight they were. So all of us roll with advantage?
Yes.
17.
That's
23.
not going to help me.
15.
7.
Okay, Lilith.
23.
Yeah, okay, easy. Between the 4 of you, you successfully craft 5 sets of bog thongs that can be attached to the feet of the 5 of you that don't have wings. And you'll be able to successfully navigate areas of the Fey-bog that you would otherwise perhaps sink immediately into.
Having gone to all this effort, I would like to hang the bog shoes around my neck and then wild shape into a heron.
Fucking hell. Yep, no, absolutely love that. Not a problem at all. Those of you wearing,
I have a question.
yes,
Despite being covered in bog,
You
Yeah,
clean
I-
eventually.
prestidigitation has helped with that. Yes.
great. I appreciate style, and I don't like thongs.
Mhm.
And for that reason, I'm going to take out of my inventory some string
Mm.
and attempt to tie the thongs to the bottom of my existing shoes.
Fucking hot. Okay, great. They remain bog thongs.
Snowshoe style.
But
They're
now
still bog thongs, but they're
now
just
at
flat against the
your
bottom of my
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each of you wearing these will have your movement halved whilst you are wearing them. But they do allow you to move through the Fey-bog without the risk of sinking into these hazardous patches of...
Okay, so I have a
Yeah.
question. Theoretically,
Mhm.
if we made snowboards and attached them via rope to Vermilion in some kind of beast form,
Are you trying to do fucking dog sledding through the bog, but with something else?
Don't
I mean, I'm
ask
on
me.
board.
Have this conversation with your party, man.
I'm just saying, would you allow it if it was brought up?
Have the conversation.
I don't want to have the conversation because Lilith wouldn't have the
Then I guess
conversation. I
it's
just want to.
irrelevant, isn't
I just
it?
want to visualize
Then
it in my
I guess
head
it's
for a bit.
irrelevant, isn't it?
No, I'm just picturing it. I'm picturing a penguin waddling through a bog, dragging 5 idiots behind it.
I need you to be so aware. I would be using that super cool penguin slide move that they can do. I would not be waddling.
Fucking hell.
You'd be sliding, but
Yeah.
there's nowhere for you to go because it's just flat.
Yeah.
You'd just be going.
Yeah, I'd have to
Thing
get
is,
up. I'd
well,
have to get up
like-
every so often to reinitiate the slide.
Push yourself.
At some point, if it's okay,
Mhm.
Valia's gonna absolutely just like look up at Tiny Wing and be like, "Hey, on like a scale of 1 to 10, how fucked was that to witness?"
Which end of the scale is bad?
Like 1
question.
being it was, just an average day traveling with this group of people.
It was a
and
1 then.
10. Okay, great. I feel a ton better. Thank you, Tiny Wing.
No problem.
That makes me feel great. Hey, if you gonna be okay just flying the entire time?
Mhm.
Is that tiring up there?
Really? It's no different to walking.
Okay, great. Lucky you.
All right, let's
excellent.
defeat this bog.
Onward into the
Indeed.
bog. Go,
It's not
bog
the
team.
hag you fight, it's the bog you traverse along the way.
And traverse you do. You walk relatively with ease now, if a little bit slower than you otherwise would have, deeper northwest into the Fey-bog. The trees in the area get thicker, but they also change. The nature of the trees changes. So you find yourself, there's a lot of mangroves, so a lot of kind of deeply rooted type trees start to emerge in these areas. The sound of insects around you increases seemingly with each and every step, and in some cases you take a step and entire swarms kind of lift up around you and scatter off into the areas beyond.
I am going to Druidcraft on all of us. Catnip, Wolfsbane, and what's the third one? The eucalyptus leaves to keep bugs away, because bugs fucking hate those. You know what? Also peppermint, because bugs really
Wait,
hate
catnip.
mint. Yeah, catnip keeps flies away. Or mosquitoes away. It's one of the two.
Yeah, but it attracts cats.
Yeah, and if there are cats in this bog, I want to meet them.
It's the cat bog.
Yeah, but what if it's not just cats? What if it's like a jaguar?
Then we'll become best friends with it because we have a druid. We can have the bacon debate.
Absolutely incredible. Okay, so you're effectively crafting an insect
Bug spray.
repellent
Yeah,
using
pretty much.
Druidcraft.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, great. I'm going to need you to roll a survival check first to know
do that, but
that's
I don't
actually
wanna.
going to be successful or not.
That's a natural 20. I'm pretty sure. Hang on.
Bam, done.
Yeah, that's a natural 20 plus 4 from guidance plus 8, 32.
You've dealt with some bugs before.
Fucking hate them.
Correct, and that is why it is one of the most immediate things that you do.
And it smells nice.
Then it smells
Mostly.
like a mixture of a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, great, perfect. giving that to everyone. Is there anyone who won't be applying this?
I am conjuring it
Druid
directly
craft.
onto people.
Wow.
'Cause I have no concept of personal space or care.
Okay, great. Describe for me the conjuration of these herbs.
So for Lilith, it is through the horns, as always, just to create
Also,
like a
move
barrier
out
in
of
her
Navy
face.
fan real quick. Thank you. As
Okay.
you were.
For Lilith, it is on her horns, as always. Everyone else just sort of feels like, I don't know, an itch on their head as plants start growing in the hair, like actively connected to your hair.
You've all got pretty little flowers in your hair. It's adorable. I love that.
Mostly leaves.
Okay, great. You all find yourselves with a whole bunch of new hairstyle accessories
And no
on
bugs.
your person. Is Lilith explaining the nature of this?
Fuck no.
Okay, in which case...
Who do you think she is? A
in
nice
which case,
person?
Salazlo, what do you do when random plants start growing in your hair?
Oh, he's got to the point where he's used to this sort of bullshittery, so he will just keep tracking along.
Marvelous. Tiny Wing.
She'd be a little bit shocked to begin with, but if there was any that was sort of dangling down near her face at all, she'd be pulling them in front and sniffing them.
Tiny Wing, what
would
you
s-
find is that a whole bunch of herbs grow in your hair, and you are immediately forced to the ground by the weight of them.
Tiny!
Did you make them tiny size?
Yeah. I didn't grow a full fucking eucalyptus tree out yet.
Okay, little baby versions of these plants?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because let's be real,
micro
a mosquito is like the size of a fucking dog for Tiny Wing.
I'm gonna ride that damn thing.
Riding a mosquito, that's fucking amazing. I'm going to allow it.
But also, I would say that Tiny Wing would probably, like, Tiny Wing and Lilith have both conjured each other flowers using Druidcraft during a break. So I feel like Tiny Wing would be almost immediately aware of what is happening
Excellent.
if she wants to be.
But still,
I'm not going to tell you how to play a
about
character.
what the
Yeah.
fuck it is. So she would be sniffing them to see what they are. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she would chew on them. I don't think she's that daft.
Probably not super edible.
Wolfsbane especially, probably not a great idea. But you have encountered Wolfsbane before, so you'll recognize it, if nothing else.
So she'd probably sniff them and turn and look at Lilith and be like, "Thank you," and keep going.
Excellent. Vermilion, what's Vermilion's response to this plant growth?
Vermilion the heron would just squawk a little bit when plants manifested in his green mohawk of feathers.
Magnificent. And Malaya.
Malia's just come out of a traumatic experience being swallowed by a bog,
Wow, first time.
which was absolutely fucking encased with leaves and plant matter and all of this crazy stuff. And no one's really told her what's going on. So the second she feels leaves or vines or something growing within her hair, she's not comfy with that and is going to start pulling them out and is like frantically like doing this.
It hurts a little bit.
In which case, you'd probably
Fine.
hear Tiny just be like, no, they're good. Leave them. Lilith did it.
I think I would have probably gone through my hair by the time that's even
Put
kind of
them back.
happened.
Okay.
Whatever remains when Tiny Wing arrives, like I'll slow down,
Mm-hmm.
I
but
think
there's
it's-
still like a combing at the hair.
Yeah.
I
Mm.
think
It's like
Oh,
a
wait.
it's to help.
discomfort.
When you pull your hands away, your hands are covered in plants because now
Which
it's
I
become
just-
now it's become like
Straight up.
growing out of your hands.
Then
Now
I'm
it's-
pulling them off even further. Like straight up, I'm not having fucking shit growing out of me without being told that I'm gonna have shit growing out of me. So it's coming straight off.
I don't know what
Excellent.
that part was. That didn't happen to me.
And I don't think Malia would say anything. There would just be like an active look of discomfort and like a little bit of fear on her face as well.
Tiny would Druidcraft a tiny little flower, like she's done previously with other people, and hand it to you.
I think there would be like just being kind of a little bit on edge. There would be like a slight hesitation and then like take the flower and just, it looks like I'm disrespectfully pocketing it, but it's being pocketed.
disrespectfully.
Head off.
You would hear in your head, Malia, like a long, like 10-second sigh, followed by, "It's for the bugs."
You would see her flinch when that happened within her mind. It would be like again, like I'm clawing at my hair. I'm just like being pulled out of a bog. Someone's fucking speaking in my head. Like, what is going on?
Look, Sal will actually, because I mean, this is going to be pretty fucking obvious at this point in time. Sal will just look over at you, Malia, with just sort of the eyebrows raised, that unspoken. Okay?
Lilith's on her bullshit eyebrow or different eyebrow?
Just that, you good? And he'll actually say, you okay?
You would see Malia put a save face expression on and look as cool as she physically can in that moment.
little fucking twigs of herbs
Yeah.
sticking out of her hair, bits of stuff on her still, and across.
Which would again, I would subconsciously just not even subconsciously, I'd be consciously still kind of tugging at them and pulling them out, but a little more less frantic, a little more like it's happening anyway. Sorry. Don't want it. Yucky.
Vermilion
Plant.
Peck's cell.
Gross.
What was that?
Vermilion Peck's cell.
Wait, just wait. Hey, just what was that for?
Excellent. And so continuing on into the Fabog. So based on where you're at and kind of how you've been, we'll say the bog shoes, although keeping you much safer and kind of able to wander around, will probably add a couple of days to the journey. So you can expect maybe 5 days trek into the Fabog before you get to the kind of the area that you feel you're likely to find, based on what Velkior and others have told you, Mud-Eye Maggie.
Is there as we get closer, is there a noticeable change in the air? Like, is there more magic? More, are the vibes different?
Over the first couple of days, absolutely not. It's hard going. It's difficult, uncomfortable, claustrophobic, sweaty work to make your way into this area. But there's no sense of, you don't feel as though you were entering the domain of a hag, if in that kind of a way. About the 4th day.
Oh, can I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Before you jump in there. So because we're heading towards the hag's place, I know Sal's got some knowledge around Mud-Eye. What exactly does Sal know that would be relevant to this situation?
Excellent.
So I've got some information that you've given me.
Yeah. Which I'll see if I can recall. So roll a history check for me first, because if you nail that, then we might drop some extra stuff into the equation.
Gonna nail something. So 21.
Yeah, easy. What you recall of your knowledge mostly of Mud-Eye Maggie is very similarly from kind of the outskirts of the bog in this area. Salazlo has definitely heard the name before, has heard that name mentioned in an assortment of towns and villages on the outskirts of the Fabog, and its kind of innermost borders. Salazlo will have been told that she's not above performing favors for people at a cost. No one who has mentioned this will have gone into any detail about the cost, and the stories are probably mostly told from the perspective of a third party. It's almost always someone knows someone who made a deal with Mud-Eye Maggie, right? It's never the actual person that encountered her or had a conversation with her or who got her to give them something that they wanted. It's always a story about a friend of a friend or someone that they know who wanted to be more successful in life, or wanted a chance to say what they truly wanted to say to, someone they had a mad crush on, something of that nature. And for a price, Mad-Eye Maggie is more than willing to help out in that way. The other thing with the 21 that will be ridiculously clear to Salazar is that not a single one of those people will have suggested that entering her domain uninvited and without being able to pay whatever price such a conversation might entail is a good idea.
So, sort of over the course of the sort of the first couple of days, once we're in the bog, Sal will sort of tell some stories about the things that he's heard. Basically, exactly what you've just described to the group.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of setting the scene for what the group needs to expect, when we actually find this individual.
Hey, Sal, can you roll an insight check?
Ooh, what's this?
Can.
It's me taking over the DM seat. Promethean, pull up my character sheet. You're me now.
Woo!
Insight. This is going to be good for a laugh. Oh, hey, just dice. Thank you, dice. 13.
13.
Nothing. Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah, excellent.
My deception's real good now because I took a level in Bard. Sorry.
Over the course of, let's say, the next 3 to 4 days, the journey itself will be relatively drama-free, right? It's just painfully annoying and difficult. And
The only drama is the drama we bring ourselves.
Correct. And on that note,
no.
are there any specific conversations or interactions amongst the party members that you'd like to have over that course of the journey? So Sal has shared the information that he has on Mad-Eye Maggie. Does anyone else want to kind of throw anything into the social mix as you make your way deeper and deeper into the Feyborg?
Yeah, I want to talk to Malia about her truly terrible backflip.
Go for it.
Hey, bud. Hey, best friend. You really whipped it back there. It was, I imagine, incredibly embarrassing. But, you almost died. And that wasn't very good. I would have been very sad about that.
Wasn't the closest I've come to death.
Look, I truly believe that.
Werewolf Helltown, but yeah, hey. Great that you care.
Yeah, you doing okay? You've been really kind of withdrawn since everyone saw you really fuck up that backflip and almost die.
I'm fine. I'm good. I have never interacted with a creature like the one or person like the one we're about to encounter, and for that reason, guess I'm just calculating what that is gonna look like. But no, I'm okay.
Can I insight that?
Yeah, go on.
Thank you.
Sorry, let me just roll against you for a sec.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Ooh.
Look, you're going to have to beat a 24, so...
Oh, yeah, great. Look, nothing deep and meaningful, but there's definitely like a little bit of like fuck, this has been a long journey, and these people probably know a lot more about me than I feel comfortable with them knowing. Vibe that you're getting.
I mean... Cool. Good to know.
It's like one of those things where, like, you blabber something out and then everyone looks at you and they're like, wait, what? It's not that that's happened. It's just that, like, knowing any kind of backstory or lore about this person, there's a very uncomfortable, like, feeling to that.
As your best friend, I just wanted to, let you know it's okay to let people in sometimes. You know?
Oh, I do. And other times I just lock the door.
Yeah. Maybe locking the door isn't the best idea. You know?
I don't know. My experience says otherwise, but hey, thanks. For
I
the
mean,
advice.
just be. Look, I'm just a little guy out here in a big world, and
You're truly so much taller than me.
look. It's an expression, much like best friends sometimes, and I'm really making this up as I go. But
I can tell.
thanks. I think that maybe just because you've been disappointed hundreds of times in the past doesn't mean you're going to be disappointed this time. And I think maybe sometimes, it's worth trying again anyway, even if you're risking getting disappointed.
You do me a favor, if that's okay.
Sure, as long as it doesn't involve not standing on the edge of your bed every morning.
So weird, this chicken. No,
Also, I'm taking breakfast orders early today. How many eggs would you like tomorrow?
none.
Okay.
But if you could stop bringing up my parents and my family being dead. I know you don't mean any ill intention behind it. It's just not a comfortable reminder that I like to relive.
Okay, I understand that. I'm sorry. I have difficulty picking up on social cues sometimes.
Didn't know that about you.
Yeah, I know.
And I guess your inside check would know that I'm lying. Like, I know that.
See, we're sharing stuff about each other. That's healthy, probably.
Probably about the second night, I'll require Tiny Wing, Sal, Lilith, and Vermilion to each roll both an Arcana check and your choice of either a survival or a perception check, please.
Your boy takes perception every time. You know that.
And tell
Yeah,
me
the same.
results.
So, what's this? An intelligence-based check as this character? Yeah, that's a 10 plus 4. Oh, that's a 14. Okay,
On which?
that's not.
So we'll say
That's on the Arcana,
So
and then
14.
here's the survival and/or perception on account of
This is an
it's
act
the
of
same number.
war. You should have just said everyone except Emily.
Well, Kaori doesn't.
Kaori doesn't either.
19, 2, and 8. 29 for the perception or survival. I don't care which. It's the same number.
Okay, Tiny Wing.
Let's say a 25 on the Arcana
Mhm.
and that's a 21 on survival.
Sal.
21 on the Arcana,
Mm-hmm.
and I decided to go with Perception, and 4.
What? This is not the first one that
not
you've
the first time.
catastrophically whiffed. We really need to get Salazar glasses.
And
Maybe he can ask
Vermilion.
Madai for that.
It's 22 for both.
Okay. I think over the course of probably the second evening, having established some kind of camp on relatively dry ground, Tiny.
The dome provides a floor anyway, so
Yeah, we're camping out under the dome.
yeah.
We're doming each night.
yeah, it provides a floor and a comfortable interior environment, and mosquitoes aren't allowed. Because
Excellent.
I will stick a hand out and fucking druidcraft as much catnip as it takes to cover the dome, so that they all fuck off.
Marvelous.
Camo dome.
Yeah, we're all woken up every morning by kilos of catnip just straight on top of us.
And
When the-
many
when the-
eggs.
When the dome disappears.
It
just
disappears after
everything
8
falls-
hours, yeah.
Just pushing us into the bog.
How large is this dome?
It's 10-foot radius, so 20-foot diameter.
It's enough for everyone to get nice and comfortable.
Yeah. Listen, if the Mighty Nine could do it and they had like a 8-foot tall character,
Yeah.
we can do it.
I think
We sleep radiating outward from the center.
prior to the raisure of the dome on the second night,
Razor.
each of you is going to feel an uncomfortability in the area. But it's a very magical uncomfortability in the area. Lilith doesn't feel this through the weave. It is just a sense of
Vibe.
wrongness about this place. Something should be here that is not. Tinywing, very specifically, you have a sense that the area that you're in should hold a passageway of some sort. That there should be, and you can't quite explain what it is. This is just a feeling that is inside you. You know that you should be able to move from one place to another and experience something truly and absolutely amazing. And that is not there. And you cannot explain the mechanics of it or what that means, but you feel lesser as a result of it. You feel robbed by the fact that whatever it is that you know should be right in front of you right now isn't there. And you have a feeling of disappointment that you've not really had before, as though you've been so close to grasping something truly important, and there's just nothing there to take. Sal, you also get that sense that there should be an effect here, and you're not unfamiliar with the Fabog having oddities, right? There are strange little pockets. The weave itself works in very interesting ways in a place such as this. You are now well and truly beyond civilization. This is nature in some of its purest forms that you're aware of. And in places such as this, strange things tend to happen. It feels like to you that where you are currently would be an area that you would normally expect to see something of that nature, and it just isn't there. Vermilion, very similar, right, but probably more from a scholarly perspective. And as a druid, you would have expected to have been visited by, even with ill intent, some kind of nature spirit or fey creature that you know both from personal experience and your reveries and just academically are, you know, fairly well known to be in an area that feels the way this area feels. But there's nothing.
Pushing one step maybe further with this, have I noticed any animals other than obviously the bugs? Is there the normal, there's the normal bog animals that one would expect for this kind of
Absolutely
environment?
Toads,
okay, cool.
Little mammals. It is a constant and truly irritating chatter. Most of the creatures in this area, because of your innate ability to understand them, most of them are terrified. Right? There is always something bigger lurking around every shadow, every corner, just waiting to make you its meal. And that is the primary fear of almost every creature that you've encountered here so far. Is just that fear that this will be the last moment before its life ends.
So it feels like there's something should have happened here, or so there's it's like an absence of something.
Yeah, correct.
Hey,
It just doesn't
Sal.
feel right.
Sorry, what was that?
It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, Vermilion.
This place is the Fabog, right?
Is correct, yes.
So, without you know, I know that sometimes things are just named stuff, and that doesn't mean anything. But shouldn't there be more fae-ness?
Well, I mean, like on the western sides, there's more Fae. Like that's where myself and like my family comes from. The eastern side, must admit, I don't know a whole lot about it. So, I mean, it could have been named based on more of the Fae on the west. But I mean, that's also a fairly fair kind of observation to make.
I mean, like, you told us those stories of people having dealt with Mud-Eye Maggie before, but like, do the Fae on the other side have any dealings or trade with Fae that would live in this area? Do they make contact with each other? I mean, there's not like a wall, a big wall that divides it into two halves, right? Or is there?
I mean, there's no big walls or anything like that. Like, I'm conscious that, I mean, there was this one dwarven fellow who would sort of travel the area, and he's dealt with Mud-Eye a little bit before. But I mean, not overly. Hold on. What's the Sal's gonna step outside of the dome, and he's just gonna look for like a rock or something like that, or a dead tree.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to place a hand on it, and he is going to use read object. So I can see and hear any events that have occurred within 20 feet of the object within the last 8 hours.
Yeah.
So just to sort of like, so he'll put a hand on it and he'll close his eyes and he'll sort of he'll bend using his mind the threads of time to basically wind back the last 8 hours around this tree. Just to, it's not, again, because it's not a huge sort of space around it, it's only that 20 feet, but to see if there's anything fundamental or strange or weird that he kind of picks up in that period of time.
How do you want the flow of time to work for that 8 hours? Do you want it to be from the most recent point backwards or from 8 hours ago forwards?
So I feel like for him, he would literally just rewind. So much of what he does with time is turning it backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be like he would rewind the last 8 hours of time.
Yeah, okay. And I think the last time we did this, the way that we explained it was the way this feeds into you, it's as though you have an intimate and immediate knowledge of what has occurred over that period of time, but you are able to mentally do that process of rewinding and kind of scrubbing back and forth between certain points. The vast majority of that time, almost the full 8 hours, it is just, the exact expected stuff you would find in a 20-foot region of horrid living swamp, right? There's critters and creatures and swarms of insects. You see at one point, maybe at about the 3 hour mark, let's say, you see what looks to be a young lizard person kind of skitter off a little bit deeper out towards the west from this area, seemingly alone and hunting perhaps. There's nothing really of note up until the point when you've reached this area, and it's not super important other than for this very specific moment. Give me a marching order for where you all are in order as you've come into this area. So who's in the lead?
Bird boy.
Okay, so it's Vermilion. You watch Sal Vermilion approach this area and kind of survey it, kind of yell back something stupid about it being a good place to dome up for the evening or whatever.
Yeah, except it's in bird.
Yeah, except in bird. Who's immediately
So-
behind Vermilion?
I feel like I would be.
Okay, you watch Sal as Malia follows the green mohawked heron. Who's following Malia?
Probably Sal at the stage, I think.
Okay, you watch yourself kind of enter this 20-foot area, wandering in, and then Kaori behind you. Behind Kaori?
I'd be flitting back that way probably.
Okay, yeah, you watch Tiny Wing kind of flit between yourself and Kaori, just looking around, being cool, leaving Lilith, and the image goes blank. You don't see Lilith enter, and you know how this thing works. You know the distance required and the amount of time that is encapsulated. You do not see Lilith enter, and it is within the scope of that 8-hour period. But as soon as she enters, you see nothing.
He's going to go back into the dome. Hey, Lilith.
Mm.
Can I are any of your positions, Lilith? Are any of your positions just kind of like, have you got like your pack down on the ground or anything like that?
Lilith kind of keeps her shit with her at all times. She grew up with siblings, so.
So you don't have anything just kind of generally lying around?
No, I think the bag of holding is like not quite on her shoulder, but like down, like where she's sitting, the strap's like falling down to her elbow.
Hmm.
But she doesn't quite take anything off until she's ready to actually sleep.
Okay. Right. Hey, Lilith, look, I was just having a little bit of a look around this place for the last 8 hours. And I
You
know...
were with us for the last 8 hours.
Yeah, look, it's just a little like thing I can do. But so when we got here, I saw all of us, but not you, which seems super strange. Because you're here now.
To
Unless-
clarify, the point at which you would expect Lilith to have entered that 20-foot area, you
Yeah.
can no longer see any of that 20-foot area.
Right, so it's like when you sort of like appeared or should have appeared, like it's like it blocked out like everything around. It was like you were some sort of, I don't know, negative space in comparison to what I'm used to being able to see. So look, you got something of yours that I can just touch just to see if we get like the same thing again? Like it doesn't hurt or anything like that. It's just more just to get a feel for what's going on. Or in this, of course, you know what's going on. Is there anything you want to tell us all?
No. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, cool. You got something I can touch? Just, I want to see whether or not this negative space around you is something which, like, does it go with you? Is it just here? I want to understand what's going on because it could have impact on all of us.
I mean, I'll just pull my dagger off. I mean, I'm a cleric. I am divinely protected, so perhaps it is some interference from that?
I mean, sure, I don't have a huge amount of experience with clerics and stuff. It could be. I'll take the knife.
Dagger?
And stab her in the... No, I'm kidding.
You can fucking try!
And I'm gonna do the same thing.
Okay.
So it'll be the last 8 hours of anything around that object.
It would be, except it isn't. You get nothing. It is a silence, a absence of time. It's a little unsettling for you, in fact. It's as though you attempt to put your talent to work, to pull apart the strands of time and look back into it and see what's happened around this object, and you're outright rejected from that. It is discomforting.
Kind of gingerly hand the dagger back. Right. Okay. there's something strange going on with you.
Okay.
Not really sure what, and it makes me just a little bit uncomfortable.
I can't provide you with answers. I don't know.
No, I'm not asking for answers. I'm just more stating like the facts as I see them. I can look at things and see what happens around them. Through basically, think of it like time. I'm not going to go into it. There's something fucked up around what's going on around you as a person and not the rest of us. So if you don't know what it is, and I don't know what it is, I think just as a group, we need to be really fucking careful right now because, I don't know, maybe you're cursed. Who knows?
I'm not cursed. I've been casting Remove Curse on myself literally every day because of that fucking werewolf.
Well, look, maybe it's something more fundamentally terrible then. I don't know. But it's strange and it's... Yeah. I don't know. Really don't know how to interpret it.
Actually, I'm going to reach out a finger and put it between your eyebrows. I'm going to cast Power Word Kill. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to cast... I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts, and telepathically you're just going to hear, "Let me in so I see what you see." So that I can view the memory myself.
Sel will absolutely let you. He'll think about what he did not see, effectively.
Yeah, so it's, I think the main thing I'm asking you to show above table is like the transition from like, oh, here's everyone, boom, nothing.
Yeah.
Like kind of the thing, yeah. Huh. Interesting. And Promethean, I know that I whiffed the Arcana check, but I did roll a 29 on the Perception check. Did I have any vibes of this place, or did I see anything? Can I see sounds? I don't know.
No,
It was a pretty good roll.
There's nothing immediately apparent to you to connect those two things, no.
Okay. If I cast Detect Magic and see Invisibility and pop my head out of the dome, do I see anything? I feel like you probably can't see Divinity with see Invisibility or Detect Magic, but fuck it, I got spell slots. I'm not tracking them because we're once again in a nothing day. Let's use them!
Please track your fucking spell slots.
I've used 2 first levels and 1 third level, and a free use for Detect Thoughts that came with my telepathic feat.
Excellent, thank you.
I've also got 3% battery on my iPad, so I can't physically track anything at the moment.
We'll do like a hand wavy version of this. So the area around you is inherently magical. There is through the trees and the moss and the grasses, there is a residual magic that is a bit feral, a bit untamed, that just exists as the baseline background presence in this place.
Is it kind of a similar magic to the club, the mall? Like in the terms of ancient? No.
No, the two are very different. Assuming you would have cast Detect Magic on the mall as well, you would have gotten a far more...
Yeah, I did the identify and learned of it that way.
Yeah, it's far more... It has a similar primality to it, but the mall, or the... the mall, I guess, has a distinct celestial flavor as well.
Ooh.
That's not the case in the Fabog in general. This is a deeply magical place, and you, with that use of Detect Magic, you'll feel a not a source, but a beacon of an incredible strength of that magic comes from below the ground, below the layer of moss and the peat. There is something below that is inherently powerful, but none of that seems to be outwardly or actively influencing anything at this time. It is just there. It is the background radiation of the weave in this place.
and see invisibility. I'm curious as to whether we are being watched. If we are going into the domain of a hag, there is the distinct possibility that we are being watched using magical means, and a lot of those magical means are picked up by see invisibility.
Such as?
Right.
What's the range on, I guess,
See invisibility. I think
it's just your sight, right?
I think it might be 60 feet. Hang on. Pray for my 2% battery. Yeah, I guess it's just my sight, which is 300 feet of dark vision, or just, the regular amount of sight. However much sight that is.
Most of that line of sight is going to be blocked by trees, right?
Okay,
so you can see at most, there'll be sections that you can see maybe 30, 40 feet in front of you before you get blocked by a tree line. Through see invisibility, looking outside of the dome, there's nothing immediately apparent that
Except
is
for the billions of mosquito ghosts.
hidden from you. Most of which mosquitoes don't have spirits, so they don't have
Good.
spirits.
They are
end
indeed
up in
soulless.
the ethereal plane, so they don't
They go
appear
straight
in
to
the
hell.
ethereal plane in that sense. And yeah, there's nothing immediately apparent. Roll a perception check for me though, real quick.
10 plus 8 plus 2 is dirty 20.
With a dirty 20, you do see you cannot tell if this is in the material or the ethereal plane, but in a place that feels like a shadow between the thickest of roots of trees, deep within your line of vision, you feel as though you see a movement. But there's movement everywhere here. You can see with your dark vision just how many creatures exist in the Fey-Bog. But there is something about this one specific brief moment that feels different. It's as though you're watching a shadow flicker between shadows. But it is quite a distance away. It doesn't seem to be moving towards you at all. It is just another thing hiding itself in the bog, trying not to be seen.
Cool. I will pop my head back into the dome and immediately cast Prestidigitation after seeing all of the hidden things that I haven't been able to see because it's fucking gross out there. And then I'll turn back to Sal, and there'll just be a moment of consideration. You said your powers are to look through time.
Sure. Yep.
Interesting. Okay. That's all you'll get.
What does the watch situation look like whilst you're all resting through the night?
Well, in the dome, we don't need to have a watch if we don't want to, because we are protected from all threats, both physical and magical. That was a God of War reference from my homies. But also, nothing can see into the dome. We can see out of it. Nothing can hear into the dome, or if they can hear in, it's muffled. So it's like it's largely protected, even if we have a campfire, which we may not need. But if we do have, like the temperature inside the dome is always comfortable. It is always
right?
clean and dry. Yeah.
Okay, so
I do think from habit that Malia would watch like at least for a couple of hours a night, just to make sure that like we're not, nothing can get in, nothing can get out, but like that doesn't mean we're not being followed or tracked or all of those different things. So there would be like a couple of hours that still allow for me to have a long rest, where she would probably sit up and watch for a bit.
Okay, but from within the dome, right?
From within the dome.
Okay, Vermilion.
I only need 4 hours of sitting on Malia's bed and staring, so I can watch the rest of the time.
And you do so from within the dome.
I think I might go for a wander outside the dome. Alone.
No.
No. I've been expressly forbidden from doing that again.
What is Vermilion's play for nocturnal activity?
No, don't say it like that.
Good lord. What?
So, is there anything outside of the dome Vermilion would actively pursue?
Yeah. I think outside of the dome, Vermilion is just trying to, like, I'm not going to go a long way from the dome, but just in the immediacy to try and chat to some of the animals in the bog and just kind of get a vibe of, like, outside of the usual food chain issues that arise with animals, is just being like, hey, anything weird going on here that might be, that's, you know, something, anything changed around here recently, anything weird that I should know about, or that's got you worried?
Great. A handful of those critters and creatures.
And I guess probably I'd specifically, to make it easier, I'm probably looking at higher order animals that aren't like the main food source of most of the other animals, because I feel like they would be generally more overwhelmed with not being eaten than greater existential issues.
Like the wizened owl, for example.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know.
Okay. There are a few that express a concern for missing friends, and they are very expressly talking about an assortment of fey creatures that they've not seen in maybe a few weeks over, and the specifics vary from creature to creature. Some of them have very wide fields of range, and those that are, as you say, of a high enough order that, one, they're willing to actually sit down and have a conversation with you, and two, that, you know, purely survival isn't the sole thing on their mind, are able to recount that, yeah, there's been fewer visitations from nature spirits and Fey based in and from the Feywild in this area specifically, from the other place, which is what these creatures typically refer to it as. They don't use the term the Feywild, they refer to it as the other place. But there's a sense of, not mourning, just of sadness that, you know, that for whatever reason, that these visitations haven't been as frequent as common, and in some cases have stopped entirely. That's probably the most you'd get out of those conversations.
Okay. Interesting.
I think, like, in the I feel like if Vermilion's kind of watching after my few hours of watching, however long that would be, there'd be like a crossover period or something like that.
Bit of overlap.
Yeah, no. No high fives. But there would be a couple of times, I think, particularly more frequently recently, and I guess in subsequent days of travel, like however that all goes, whatever. Who fucking travels in D&D anyway? Gross.
Who doesn't handwave that shit?
I've tried.
But I think you, like, if you cared, Vermilion, there would be times where you'd see like Malia kind of jotting down notes in a book that she kind of carries with her. Just a notebook, nothing crazy, very simple. And I think for your benefit, Promethean, as the DM, if that's what you truly are.
Allegedly.
Wow.
I'm joking. Sorry, I'm just rehashing all the Romancing the Dungeon jokes this evening. I think
put Declan and me in a game together. I fucking dare you, as players, with you running. I dare you.
I promise you. I will. I'll give you that satisfaction. I'll put MVC in there too, because I don't think MVC really plays in anything I do. But I think for your benefit, Malia would be writing, like, it almost kind of looks like letters, but not letters. It's like a kind of cross between like a letter and like a journal entry. And they would always be addressed to her brother. who is dead, obviously. Thank you, Vermilion.
Thank you, Vermilion.
And I think like progressively what would have been like one word or one-liners has kind of like started to get longer and longer. And then this most, I don't know, like this most kind of recent one she's tacked up would say fucking, I don't know, something along the lines of like, I'm not going to do it in the accent, but something along the lines of like, fuck. It starts with fuck. I've said it before, but thinking about your name and the acknowledgement of your death by others is a reminder that it happened and that it's real. And I don't really like real. I'm trying to avoid real. And I feel like if I keep moving and I don't stop, I don't have to think. And if I don't have to think, then I don't have to acknowledge that things feel different. It would say like, I can't place the feeling, but it's almost like I've forgotten something important. And I don't know if that feeling's gonna go away. But in the times that I catch myself thinking about something and laughing, or looking over my shoulder expecting you to be there and to tell you you're not, and I was getting used to there being no one, but it's not no one anymore. And I think you'd really like Vermilion. In fact, I think sometimes he kind of reminds me of you. And then I just stop writing and close the book real quickly as like Vermilion kind of makes his way out.
Hey, buddy, what you writing there?
Good night. And just straight to bed. Like, just
Okay.
immediately.
Fair enough.
Incredible.
I think I'll talk to a toad tonight.
The toads are the worst. The toads are truly the fucking worst in this place. They are abusive. They are liars. They are fucking. They have no respect for you.
Is this cane
or
toads
anyone.
specifically?
All toads. Every toad in this place is just absolute.
Specifically here, the
piece
toads
of
are the
shit.
worst. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Correct.
That's
I have a
good to-
question. How's Acidus? Is he doing okay with us? Is he enjoying
It's
the
fine.
dome? Yeah, cool.
Is there any
I love that guy.
out
It's
of
nice to not be on the roof.
Is there any out of dome activity Salislow would like to undertake?
I like the out of dome activity has
Yeah.
become a subcategory.
Yeah, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah. Goes out, finds a bush somewhere. No, he's fine. Yeah, no. He's got no urge to
Hogs
be
one out.
He's
outside of the
coward.
dome at the moment.
Okay. And Tiny Wing.
You said with those checks earlier that it
Mhm.
for her specifically, it felt like there should be something here that isn't here,
Mhm.
as well as the whole feeling of wrongness.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. She would probably try to bring that up with Sal as well. She'd be a slightly frazzled fairy. Because she's trying to work out what's missing, but she can't work out what's missing and where it is and where it's gone, and she doesn't even know what the fuck she's looking for, you know what I mean? Yeah, that would be a fun conversation to have. Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
this is inside the dome, this is a
Inside the
conversation
dome, we're not going
everyone's party
outside.
to.
Yeah, I mean, did you want to have the conversation, or did you?
Yeah,
like
I do. Sorry, I'm half asleep tonight.
That's
Hey.
okay. I'm unconscious
We're
of time.
truly not far from wrapping up, so go for it.
I'm Sal. I heard you and Lilith earlier. You said something wasn't right. I've also noticed that something feels a bit weird, but also something feels missing. Like it should be here, but it's not here, and I can't work out what it is and where it should be. And I don't know if it's just because I'm not sleeping at the moment or what's going on.
I mean, that's interesting because, like, I mean, as you probably overheard with Lilith, it's like, for me, like one of the things that was missing when I was looking back through time with her. I mean, basically, she's just this giant black hole of nothing. So I'm not sure if there's a connection to what you're feeling, or if you're feeling something that's more, or if there's a connection between that and the land and what you're feeling is like what's going on.
A reminder that this is in the dome, so Lilith hears herself being described as a void.
Truly,
of nothing.
everyone is hearing this in the dome.
Yeah.
Weird, because that's also a prison name.
Wait, what's my prison name?
No, we can't hear you now.
We
all of a
can't
sudden.
hear you.
Fuck! Now the
Go
moment's
into
passed
the-
now, you'll never know what Lilith's
Yeah.
prison name is.
I'm gonna go watch the VOD and try and read Emily's lips.
I'm pretty sure she said giant black hole, but anyway.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said.
Fucking hell.
Sal's kind of like, you're kind of affiliated with the Fae, in a way.
I mean, not really in a way. I mean, I am.
Yeah, shut up.
Right. Oh, okay.
This you,
Sorry, train of thought. Keep going.
Sorry,
keep
I'm
going.
using you as a segue to ask Tiny Wing a question. If you would
Right.
shut up and let me do that.
Okay, I'm gonna be quiet now.
Thank you.
Okay, you're
yeah,
welcome.
so Sal's kind of affiliated with the Fae.
Shutting up now.
Shut up. Tiny Wing, I don't want to impose any titles or affiliations on you because I don't know, but you kind of look like you might also have some affiliation with the Fae.
I've been told that I'm Fae, yes.
Yeah. Do you think maybe you have like the both of you have more of an inherent sense about this place because you are in fact Fae and this is a Fae bog?
Well,
And maybe that's why things don't sit right?
I don't know, because I don't actually know anything about the Fae. I just know that I am apparently Fae.
Well, I mean, we could try and find out. What day is this? Is this day 3?
We'll say this is night. Yeah, we'll say night 4. We'll skip out a bit.
Sure.
How many nights?
The 4th night. You were 3 nights away from finding out if you are still afflicted with the curse of lycanthropy.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, how close are we to Mud-Eye Magus?
Another 3 to
Allegedly.
4 days. Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, I guess we could try and find out. And for the purpose of this, I want to, and you know, based on the information I've kind of gathered from the local animal populace,
Mhm.
I want to try and roll a dice on casting Summon Fae.
Okay.
With the intent to ask, just like, because truly, I realize there are truly so many Fae, and the way that this spell works is I'm calling forth a Fae spirit, and it could be any Fae spirit, but I'm running it with this on the off chance that it's possible that this Fae spirit may have some insight into why Fae would not want to be here or would actively have left this area or not be visiting it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Andy, as a magic user and as someone who has spent a good amount of nights in the dome, you would know that you cannot cast a spell through the dome that has any kind of outside influence. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I can. I'll leave the dome to do it. I'm just letting you guys know that I'm going to go find out.
Okay. Excellent.
Tiny's curious. She's going to follow.
Bite in his hair. It'd be really funny. Would that be like super long grass? Like if you just actually like went into
probably.
Yeah, like because like if she's only this big and your hair's like this big,
She's like a
she'd just be able to,
velociraptor
like-
in the tall grass. Clever girl.
Oh no. No.
Okay. Excellent. I'm just double checking Summon Fae and what that looks like.
Yeah.
So
It feels a little outside of what the intent of the spell is, but I feel like, you know, I can summon a Fae of Space Spirit. I can talk to the Fae Spirit. I don't have to inherently use it to, you know,
yeah.
do anything else.
Yeah. So you're casting the spell. outside the dome. Is that
Yeah.
what's happening? Okay.
Yeah, well, I can't cast the spell inside the dome, so I'm going to have to go outside the dome.
Yep.
And I don't know if there's a means to sort of try and increase the chance that it would summon a more relevant Fey spirit than just
So
straight up being something that may not know anything.
So you get to choose a mood associated with the Fey spirit: fuming,
Yeah.
mirthful, or tricksy.
Mm.
That's the choice that you have
Mhm.
between kind of options. Let's check this. No, this all works. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's the choice. That's what you get.
All right. Well, I'm going to try and summon a mirthful Fey.
Okay, excellent. Lilith, before or during this process, is there anything extra domally that Lilith would like to attempt?
No, I don't think so. She's just going to spend a lot of time journaling, and when we get closer to the center of the Feyblog, I'll probably have something, but at the moment we're still days away from it, so not really.
Okay, excellent. Huh.
What was that noise for?
Vermilion, describe for me the process.
Promethean anonymous mouth noise.
Anonymous mouth noise. Get a counter right now.
Describe for me the process of the casting of Summon Fey as Vermilion casts it. And from everyone else, is everyone going to be remaining inside the dome and just letting Vermilion do their thing? Or those of you who want to kind of watch this play out, let me know if you're heading out to do so.
You can
I'll
also
leave you.
legally just stick your head out of the dome
You can
and
do
still
that.
see things.
Yeah, I'm curious. I think Tiny would go out and, if Vermilion would let her hide in his hair, she would totally do that.
If Tiny goes out, Sal will go out too because he wants to be there to support his little buddy.
Okay.
I
Malia?
think I also would go out, but only just like almost as if you could like lean against the dome. That's kind of like what I would
Yeah,
be
it's just
doing.
Okay.
No, not out like that. More like back against the dome. Hey,
like Ace
Hanging out
Ventura
against
coming
the
out of the
dome.
rhino.
Yeah.
like more like, hey, I'm hanging out here. I'm leaning against a brick wall.
Excellent. And Lilith?
I can't leave the dome.
Okay.
Yeah, if
Otherwise
you leave
the
the dome goes away.
Yeah, and I don't want to spend 10 minutes recasting it in case of emergency, so I'll stick my head out, but I'm not leaving the...
You
Rest
never
of-
want to prematurely
top-
drop the dome.
You can see out of
Exactly.
it though, right?
Yeah.
We can
Okay.
see out. Things can't see
Excellent.
in. is my
NBC,
understanding.
describe for me the casting of the spell. Go.
Yeah.
But also, by doing that, my body is now shielded from any magical explosions that may happen.
That's true. So once again, as is truly important for Vermilion to be able to channel the weave, and particularly the weave that permeates between, I guess the parallel, what I would call the parallel planes, them being Shadowfell and the Feywild, which are sort of the similar but adjacent planes to the material. He takes off his shirt, and he's going to kind of find a spot. No, I'm not going to swing it around like that, Emily, you perv. Is find a relatively dry spot to kind of, sit on his knees. And it's sitting down, both palms outward facing forward. And it's similar to when Vermilion goes into like a reverie or a trance-like state. It's starts with sort of controlled breathing. So inhaling slowly and exhaling, and with each inhale trying to imagine that you're drawing in, as though thin tendrils of spaghetti, the weave that permeates throughout all of the planes. And once sort of there's that feeling of I've got a grasp of the weave, it's like you are grabbing onto one of these threads and using it to beckon a spirit from one of these, from this adjacent plane, from the Feywild.
You
That's what that's how I'm describing it.
Okay.
Take that.
excellent. You feel so you do that, and you feel the weave reach out, and not for the first time you attempt to reach, as you say, into the Feywild itself. But it becomes immediately apparent that there is a resistance to that attempt. And a tension arises, and there's a bit of a feedback loop for a minute through the weave, and you're kind of reeled back a little bit, and it's almost as though you feel the attempt of this spell just to start to spiral just a little bit out of control, and you feel the tendrils of the spell itself start to split and crack and splinter and fray, and you feel the weave whip around you, and as it does so, it hits the dome, and another tendril hits the dome, and another tendril hits the dome. Lilith, you notice this. Roll a perception check for me.
I also just had a fucking epiphany. 25.
You notice Kaori stiffen.
Oh yeah, she's here too.
Under her breath, she just mutters, "Oh, fuck."
No fucking way.
Violently.
You son of a bitch.
Violently, those tendrils, unable to enter the dome, reach into the ground. And you feel this, Vermilion. You're still connected to the weave casting the spell. You feel the tendrils of magical power go down through the moss, down through the peat, down into deeper, darker regions of older, crueler, deader things, and reach down, and you feel hundreds, thousands, scores of thousands of ancient, aching, screaming Fey spirits below your feet, and one of these tendrils rips one from below the earth and pulls it up in front of you, and it sits
I fucked up.
seated
Guys, I
before
fucked
you
up.
and begins to laugh merrily. And that is where we'll leave the session for this evening.
What
Guys.
the fuck, guy?
Guys, I fucked up.
What did you do? What happened? I'm so confused.
So it was looking for a Fey, and instead of pulling one from the Feywild, it has pulled a Fey spirit that has been tethered within the bog itself.
Okay, I'm not sure why Kaori stiffened.
Hey.
Guess you'll have to fuck around and
Yes,
find out.
correct. That's what I'm like, you absolute motherfucker.
Welcome to 2025. Thank you all for fucking playing and being so cool. I love you all. You're always fun to play with. Hey, here's what we're gonna do. Saz needs to go to sleep. I'm so sorry, Saz. Hey, we're gonna run around real quick. We're gonna do favorite moments and then immediately stitch on the back of that who you are, where we can find you, and what you're doing. We're gonna start in reverse order with Jeannie, who's not here sadly this evening. I'm so sorry.
Hi.
Excellent. Hi. I'm Jeannie. I do cosplay and I write books and I play here and sometimes I stream. NBCDM. Favorite moment for the evening?
Oh, look, truly so many favorite moments. The absolute chaos that was us trying to engage with the first real environmental hazard that we've had to manage.
And flubbing it.
And
Immediately.
absolutely whipping it. And also really, truly my absolute buffoonery for choosing Speak with Plants over the very obvious Water Walk, which was the follow-up spell. And just while everyone else is just flailing around trying to escape the bog, just being like, hey bug plants, how you doing? Like, I don't know why I thought that would work. It would have been cool if it did, but that was just everything about the bog was hilarious. That just first sort of 10 minutes within the bog.
Excellent. Who are you? What can we find you doing?
Also, I'm NBC. DM. There's no numbers in it. I'm just a general burden to the TTRPG community. And you can find me in various places doing exactly that, including on, as previously mentioned, Castleton, which will be airing its finale this coming weekend.
Holy shit.
In at least 2 parts. from what I've been told. And my character, Silas, will appear in one of those two parts. I don't know which one yet.
So it's also in 2 parts because they're dead.
Look, it's entirely possible. But if anyone's been watching it and has been following the themes, even a pawn can checkmate a king. So let's keep that with us. And you can find me on social media that I may or may not use at that NVCDM.
Marvelous. Hey, Emily, favorite moment for the evening?
Hey, my favorite moment was Vermilion deciding to basically eject me from the bog with the water
Squelchily.
walk. Yeah. And also, the squelch part where everyone remembered that was one of my least favorite words in the universe and just using it continuously over and over and over again.
Love you.
To just phonetically torture me. Just the time to be alive. Yeah, my name's Emily. I'm also a burden to the TTRPG community, but I have a whole channel that I do it on, which is Hexes and Vexes. You can find me there GMing, thirsting, and various other things. When I'm not there, I'm here, and when I'm not here, I'm there being Meeples and Dragons. And when I'm not at either of those places, I'll be over on Winter's Tales for Castleton. Just being just a girl.
Awesome. Hey, Ash, did you have a favorite moment of the session? Or?
It's got to be the way that Lilith is kind of like a magnetic strip to Sal's VHS recorder. Apparently, I just fuck up everything in the vicinity. Amazing, incredible. Very curious as to what the fuck that's about, but I have maybe an idea.
I can't wait to hear about it.
You know that I'll guess right again, Promethean. I haven't forgotten what you did.
A thing once, right? That was really.
I also have
cool.
a third thing that I might guess right as well.
Ooh, I'm excited. Okay. Hey, what are you doing? Where can we find you doing it?
Hey, I'm Ash. I make stuff. I identify as an unidentified item in the bagging area. You can find me here doing this, and also sometimes DMing. And God, NVC changed his name on Zoom as well. You can also find me over on Split the Party TV every Tuesday morning from like 10 till 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Is that right? Thanks, Sass. Where I play a much better cleric than Lilith, she's a pain in the ass, but in a different, better way. And then apparently you can also find me over at Hexes and Vexes, where I ruin D20's life in flashbacks, only to eventually die.
Spoilers.
Sorry, spoilers.
Whoa. Oh no.
You haven't died? What are you talking about?
Moving on. Sans, save it. No, say it. Sans.
Did
you have a favorite moment?
The wibbly wobbly timey wimey. That was very cool. Very much enjoyed that little skill show off of Sal's.
Agreed. I love Sal.
I don't think we've seen that before.
The 8-hour thing, so Sal has used it once before with the
Scroll of Uncertain Providence to spy on Darkhan the Oathrife.
Correct. But it was a while ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is very, very cool.
Very, very cool.
Hey, who are you and where can we find you doing what?
I'm Saz or Saz Meeple. You find me on Threads or Blue Sky. That's the other one. When I'm up there, I'm everywhere on the internet. Meeples and Dragons, where I'm the resident Dice Goblin and Twitch producer. We have a new project in the works soon. Keep an eye out on socials for that. We've got expressions of interest coming. What else do I do when I'm not here? I'm Meeples. When I'm not at Meeples, I'm over on Split the Party with Ash, trying not to die in Barovia.
And you got some cool new upgrades as of last session.
Actually, I need to talk to Matt about that. But anyway, thank you for the reminder.
Excellent. Ham, any favorite moments from tonight?
I loved Mr. NVC's little description of the whole summoning of the Fae and your
thank you.
Absolute fucking boss ass counter move to
Just
that.
how you absolutely rug pulled from under that description and turned it into something horrifying.
Yeah,
You fuck.
It was
cool.
fucking awesome. I love some dark fucked up shit in my D&D. Yeah, it's
Excellent.
cool.
Who are you and where can we find you doing things?
I am Ham, the meat-based product. And Ham,
Real tasty.
can
Can confirm.
Moist.
Oh yeah, you can.
yeah, you can. You'll find me here. You'll find me running Radiant Shadows over on Meeples and Dragons every second Saturday, which will be this coming Saturday. Sometimes you can find me in other places, like on Help Action Needed with Sean and Jenna, who are the ghosts from Castleton, where we talk about smut. And we write smut, apparently.
Really
So,
well, as it turns out. It was like a whole bunch of gags are made about it, but it's legitimately better than a bunch of stuff that you've reviewed. Like, legitimately better.
The plan now is that we'll just write some smart and we'll sell it, and then that'll be the way for us to all to get together, like at Gen Con or something like that, and we'll retire.
We're Ghost Chat. We write smart. Fucking
and look, there's possibly other places that are going to turn up in the not too distant future as well, but who knows?
Sexy. Hey, hi, I'm Promethean. My favorite moment for the evening was in
Wait, you didn't say the zero part.
Yeah,
He's downgraded. He's just Promethean now.
we're Russian. He's not a downgrade.
No, we're Australian,
No,
except for
yeah.
Ham, who is New Zealander.
Oh my god.
I'm also half Italian, but that's
Hi,
fine.
I'm Promethean. There's a zero in it. My favorite moment for the evening was having so many cool people hanging out with us in chat, watching us come
Pop
back in
out.
2025.
Give us a real favorite
It was
moment.
adorable. Thank
Lame.
you all. We love you. Hey, also, I really, really, truly, and genuinely enjoyed absolutely enveloping Emily's character in fucking guck. That really
Gross.
was heaps of fun. I enjoyed that whole thing. I did not
should
expect
do it again
I
sometime.
did not expect it to go for that long at all. I fully expected you guys to clear the first environmental thing in 10 minutes. That
Yeah,
didn't happen.
But you're
So-
looking at a party with majority negative strength
And that's what
modifiers.
dice
So
do, and that was super cool. I also enjoyed MVC giving me the opportunity to fuck around with some magic and fae stuff, which is super cool and potentially important. I also enjoy how confused Ash was about how that fucking played out. I really
Now have
enjoyed
some
the
thoughts.
fact that Tiny Wing just fucking speed run her way through all of that shit, because she's like, hey, I'm a fairy, bitches, I got wings. I'm not having your basic bitch problems. I guess I'll just hang here and not have to deal with that. I thought that was heaps of fun. I'm looking forward to our next session. We'll put out
Cheers.
dates for that very soon, and I look forward to seeing where the story goes from here. Right now, though, hey, you know what? We're going to raid out.
Where's the story going?
hell, apparently.
Hell, no, we didn't say that at all.
That was
Nothing
your
about
raid
hell.
segue, but that's
we
fine.
the story is going over to G of motherfucking D, who was guested
That was
right here on this
wow.
very channel in the past,
My wife.
whose character is in fact previously Salazar's wife, not Malia's, but yes, G.
My actual wife, though. How dare you?
Hell yeah.
And in Castleton, G played my sister.
Correct.
So she's my sister
Whoa,
and
hold
my
on,
wife.
wait.
And Emily's
Hold on.
Emily's murderer.
Oh, yeah, attempted murderer.
Would be murderer,
Wow.
yes. Which would have
Attempted.
ended up actually having been Aurelius's murderer if that had worked, if the non-violence decree wasn't put
She didn't
in
know
place
that,
at the
though.
same time. She didn't know.
It's just G's been everywhere,
Hey.
man.
Everyone say goodbye. Look adorable, please.
Goodbye, look adorable, please.
Goodbye, bye, bye, bye. Hog.
Hey, here we are.